How's it going, YouTube? Hold on, Neil. Give me a second here, and we'll get started with the debates.
Hello? You want to wait till more people join?
No, it's fine. Is Carmelo Anthony innocent?
No.
Why not? Okay, why?
He's not in. There's literally video footage of him stabbing.
Killing is
the
not
kid.
illegal.
What?
Killing is not illegal. In Texas?
Killing is not. Is that what I'm hearing? Killing people is not illegal. Murder is not illegal.
Murder is illegal.
What is murder?
Killing,
Define murder for me.
Murder is the unjust termination of human life. Killing includes self-defense, right? You kill someone when you defend yourself. Right?
What was he defending against?
Hold on. So can we agree? Killing inherently is not illegal because if you kill someone to defend yourself, that's not illegal, right?
That's self-defense.
But it's still killing someone.
It's
You're still killing someone. Yes.
Is self-defense under
Hold on,
the...
Can you answer my question? Is killing always illegal?
Yes.
Okay, so self-defense is illegal?
Yes.
Self-defense
Without
is illegal.
justifiable cause, self-defense is illegal.
Is illegal, meaning legally wrong.
I know what illegal means. Not lawful.
Okay. So
not legal.
You don't think it's lawful to defend yourself?
It's lawful to defend yourself.
Okay, so then it would be lawful to kill someone in that aspect.
To kill them in self-defense.
Cool. So then,
if there's no other option,
so then killing is not always illegal.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Now we agreed. Killing is not always illegal. In order for something to be murder, it has to they have to break a penal code while doing the action of killing someone. Right. So Carmelo Anthony killed someone. My question to you is, what penal code did he break that makes it murder?
Unlawful force.
No, that's not true. That's not a penal code.
Oh my god. Are you... Oh my god. Are you... Okay, so you're telling me you can just walk up to somebody and stab them, right?
No.
That's okay, right?
No, that's not what I said.
He killed him. He did not have to stab him.
I agree. He killed him. Yes.
He did not have to stab him, though.
According to law, he had the right to do so. According to law, according to Penal Code number 1.
Oh my God.
So do you know stand your ground laws?
No.
Okay, stand your ground laws. Do you know no duty to retreat?
Yeah.
Cool. No duty to retreat. Penal Code 9.31 and Penal Code 9.32. Right? Let me read it to you. Let me pull up the exact penal code. Penal Code number 9.31, self-defense. Except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree that the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect.
That force was not immediately necessary. It was not immediately.
But that's not. Hold on. You're missing a key point. It says when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the force is necessary. Carmelo Anthony had to reasonably believe that that act was reasonable force to the degree, right? That is what this is saying.
I reasonably believe that my kid slapping me is lethal. I can stab my kid for slapping me. No.
Okay, why do you have reasonable belief to believe that?
He's trying to hurt me, harm me.
Your child. So you think your child is trying to kill you?
Yeah, he was basically a child, and he thought he was trying to...
No, in this hypothetical that you provided, your child is trying to kill you, and you have reasonable belief to believe that.
He was found guilty.
Because the reason I think it's reasonable belief is because you take a look at the statistics. There is a lot of hate crime, right? There's a lot of hate crime towards black people, right? And you take a look at the statistics.
What does that have to do with
black people? Because black people don't get held accountable for their crimes. So whenever someone is being aggressive, so hold on. Whenever a white person is being aggressive toward a white person, right, that is reasonable belief that your life is in danger, right? Whenever someone's being, it doesn't matter of your race. Whenever someone's being aggressive,
he shoved Carmelo and he stabbed.
And this exactly is what it's talking about. He's shoving.
So would you shoot somebody if they shoved you?
No duty to retreat. You can use a
And
reasonable
you're
force that you
stuttering,
necessary.
of course.
I stutter all the time. Yes, you can use the reasonable force according to Texas Penal Code number 9.31. It's
Yeah, he just
no
wanted to
duty
stab
retreat.
somebody.
No duty
Yeah,
to retreat.
he just
Great
wanted to
argument,
stab
buddy.
somebody.
I'm
He
using
just
law.
wanted to stab somebody.
I'm
It's
using
easy
law.
as that.
Great argument. Great argument. I'm using law. You don't have the law
Yeah.
on your side.
And the law says you can.
The law says, and I quote, except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree. It doesn't even talk about proportionality. It doesn't even talk about proportionality. It's not saying it has to be proportional to what they did. It
A
is saying
shove,
when
a shove does
hold on.
not. A shove. Don't
not saying
interrupt.
it,
A
but
shove.
it's not
a
saying
shove
proportionality.
Does not justify. A shove does not justify it. A shove
It's
does
not
not
saying
justify
proportionality.
that
Proportionality
a shove
doesn't
does not
matter.
A shove does not justify the
What you're
force.
talking about is
A shove
proportionality.
does not justify the. Oh my.
You
Go
repeating
ahead,
it 10
go
times
ahead.
doesn't matter. You're
You
talking
just
about
repeating in
proportionality.
circles does not help anything.
you're-
A shove
you're
does not
sa-
justify that amount
Yeah.
of force.
Yeah, exactly. Proportionality. That's what you're talking about. Law does not mention proportionality. 9.31, Penal Code 9.31 does not mention proportionality, not even once, and it doesn't refer to it. It says when and to the degree. It doesn't mention proportionality. So I'll continue reading it without any interruptions. And I'll restart. Except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful force. The actor's belief that the force was immediately necessary as described by this subsection is presumed to be reasonable if the actor, and then it proceeds to say,
So he
know or
believed it.
had reason to believe the person against whom the force was used unlawfully with force entered, right? But we know that Carmelo Anthony, A, was legally allowed to be here. So lawfully, Carmelo Anthony was allowed to be there, and B, he was required to be there by the school. Okay, so this doesn't apply to him. And on top of that, I'm so sorry. Just because white people don't like minorities being around them, that's why there's no duty to retreat. So just because a white person doesn't want a black person somewhere, black people or people of color can stand their ground and not retreat. That's
And
important
stab
to Penal Code
somebody.
9.31.
They can stand their ground and stab
Yes,
somebody for
yes,
getting
no duty
shoved.
to retreat. Yes, yes.
So you would
Yes, they
stab
can
somebody
use
if they
reasonable
shoved
force.
you.
Reasonable force
And you're lagging.
in immediate
You need to
force.
fix
Yes.
your internet.
That's not my internet. That's yours.
That's not mine. It's yours.
I'm
But
watching it on my
whatever.
computer.
Would you stab somebody? Would you stab somebody if they shoved you?
Would I stab somebody if they shoved me? It varies by case, right? But we're talking about Carmelo Anthony. We're not talking about any other case.
Yeah, okay, so you can say you wouldn't just kill somebody, stab somebody with a knife if they shoved you. Can we agree with that?
Again,
I mean, he's just proving the stereotype that they're criminals.
precisely my point.
I mean,
Right.
Carmelo
It's
Anthony
goofies.
was bigger,
Totally.
taller than him.
That's false.
He didn't have to stab him.
Carmelo Anthony was not taller. What? Austin Metcalf was taller. What? You don't know nothing about this case, and you're coming on my live trying to say that Carmelo Anthony is guilty. You don't know law. You didn't know the.
Oh my god, you're fucking stupid.
You don't
You're
know.
a fucking
you
nigger.
don't know the
That's what
stand
you
your
are, you
ground laws.
fucking nigger. Fuck you,
Exactly.
nigger.
You're gonna resort to slurs because you don't know anything about what you're talking about. Moving on to the next guest. And as you guys are starting to join up in, we're trying something different. We're gonna have this conversation because I've seen a lot of discourse and people don't know what they're talking about. How's it going? Do you think Carmelo is innocent or guilty?
Yeah, he's definitely guilty.
Sure. Why?
Because the defense didn't make any case for reasonable doubt or proportional force, and that's kind of all it's about. You can't
So in order
poke
for it to be
someone
murder, you
for
have to be
shoving
breaking a
you.
penal code while in the action of killing. So what penal code did he break?
That's actually not true.
That is true. Killing is
Okay.
inherently not illegal in Texas.
Okay, but it is when you poke someone for shoving you.
No, killing is not inherently illegal.
Well, it's not self-defense.
Again. So what penal code did he break though, right? In order to violate the law, right, which is murder, you have to violate a penal code. You have to break a penal code. So what penal code did he break while killing someone? For example, Like self-defense, you kill someone, you didn't violate a penal code, therefore it's not unlawful. But if it's murder, you are violating a penal code. That's
To
why
be
it
honest,
gets
I'm
unlawful.
not entirely sure on the exact penal code.
Yeah, he didn't violate a penal code. That's why.
Well, I mean, he got convicted on first degree.
So what
He's
penal code?
literally
did he violate?
going to prison right now as we speak.
penal
He's
code did he
literally
violate?
sitting in a cell. Definitely one of them.
Which one? You can search it up.
All right.
Make sure you guys are double tapping that phone screen if you haven't already. Repost the live, share the live, do all the good things. If you guys are new here, well, this is a topic that we haven't done before, and we're gonna do it to promote discourse. Only join up if you think that Carmelo Anthony is guilty. I would love to have a productive dialogue with you. Join up in the guest box. If you're over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. We're close to 500 subscribers. And as always, these are real people, right? Austin Metcalf was a real teenager. Carmelo Anthony is a real teenager. So always remember that and be mindful of that in the comments section. So what penal code did you violate?
Penal code 19.02.
Cool. What is it? Section 1, 2, which one?
Section 1.
Section 1, quote. Okay, cool. Quote, adequate cause, end quote, means cause that would commonly produce a degree of anger, rage, resentment, or terror in a person of ordinary temper, sufficient to render the mind of incapable of cool reflection. How does that apply to Carmelo Anthony?
It doesn't. He wasn't a reasonable person, and we've seen that in the court case.
Okay. So you're saying that he had anger, rage, or resentment, or terror?
No, that's not what that penal code means.
Okay, so you're saying he wasn't a reasonable person? What is your evidence that he wasn't
He
a
did not
reasonable
act
person?
reasonably. That's why it wasn't self-defense.
Hold on. Why wasn't he a reasonable person?
Because he poked someone for getting shoved
Okay.
after being told to leave by
That's-
multiple people 15
Again,
times.
Legally, he was lawfully allowed to be there. Allowed to be there,
but
and he was required to be there. And do you know stand your
he
ground
wasn't
laws?
required to be under that tent, though.
By the school, yes. By the school, yes. Do you know stand your ground laws? Yes or no?
Okay, but he wasn't required to be
Hold on.
under
Do
that
you
tent.
know stand
and
your
he was
ground
asked
laws?
to
Yes
leave.
or no?
Yes, of course.
Do you know no duty to retreat?
Yes.
Penal code, I believe it's 9.31. You know that?
I'm not sure about the exact penal code, but I know
Penal
the
code
no duty to
9.31,
retreat.
right? So just because a white person feels uncomfortable about a black person being there, they don't have to leave. Even if they're asked 20,000 times, they don't have to. If a person is lawfully allowed to be there, they can stand their ground and they don't have to leave. That's what Texas
Okay,
law
beautiful. It
says.
doesn't change the fact that he poked someone for shoving him.
Self-defense.
That's all it's about. It's
Self-defense.
How is that self-defense? It's
Penal code
unproportional.
9.31. Except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force
What is the
against
definition of
another.
self-defense?
I'm about to give you the penal and what the penal code is saying. Okay, can you let me finish? I read your penal code, what you were referencing. You said he was unreasonable, and then you said the reason he was unreasonable is because he stabbed someone. Well, that would mean anyone who stabs someone is unreasonable, meaning self-defense people.
No,
who
I
do
said he stabbed
self-defense is also
someone for a
unreasonable.
shove. That I
Okay.
didn't say just because he stabbed someone, because he got shoved
Sure.
and then
So
poked him for that. That's unreasonable and it's unproportional.
again, it's not a. Okay,
That's-
hold on. Penal code
that's fatal
9.31.
force.
Hold
This
on.
is
You
minor
just mentioned
force.
something. You just said proportionality. Where in penal code 9.31? Where does it mention proportionality?
It's
Penal
the
code,
whole-
which talks
that's
about
literally what
self-defense,
self-defense is.
it doesn't talk about proportionality at all.
It's literally
Now,
the
does
right to defend yourself proportionally against a
No,
threat that's
it
an
does not
imminent
mention proportionality.
threat to bodily harm or fatal injury.
You don't even
Yes,
know
it
what you're
does.
talking
That's
about.
the
It
whole
doesn't
point
say
of
that.
self-defense.
Penal code 9.31 does not. We're not talking about definitions. We're talking about law. When we're in a courtroom, we don't talk about like colloquial definitions. We talk about law. And penal code 9.31, which is self-defense, does not mention proportionality. So right there, you just made the biggest fumble in this debate that you possibly could, saying that it wasn't proportional. Well, hey, guess what? Penal code 9.31 doesn't mention proportionality, and I'll read it for you. except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when, and to the degree, the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use of it or attempted use of unlawful force. The actor's belief that the
reasonably
force was
degree.
immediately necessary, as described by subsection, and presumed to be reasonable if the actor, and then it continues going. So can we agree?
Yeah,
Penal Code
reasonably
9.31
agree.
doesn't mention
wasn't
proportionality.
It wasn't reasonable. Sure.
It was. It was absolutely reasonable. And great, you conceded
act
it
like
doesn't
he was,
mention
like,
proportionality,
stuck.
so that's not a reason as to
You
why
act
it's
like he was like
unreasonable.
cornered in like a dark alley.
why was it
the guy could
unreasonable?
leave at every single angle
Why was it unreasonable?
because he poked someone for shoving them. That's how it's unreasonable.
That's not.
And he
no,
brought a poker
That's
to
not unreasonable.
attract me.
Again, what you're referencing is proportionality. Again, this doesn't refer to proportionality, so you can't talk about that. You already conceded. So why
That's
was it
what
unreasonable?
reasonable is.
No,
reasonable
this doesn't.
essentially
This
is
doesn't mention or reference
proportionality.
proportionality. No.
What do you think reasonable means under that context?
It literally it means when the actor believes it to be reasonable in that immediate aspect to the
reasonable
degree.
person, not the actor.
It says
Obviously,
actor.
the
It
court
literally you don't
decided
even know
that
what
he
you're talking
wasn't
about. It says
under
actor.
a reasonable person.
It says actor.
Okay,
I'm
but it
reading
doesn't
penal-
matter
I'm
what
reading the
he
penal
thought was
code.
reasonable. It doesn't matter what
Literally-
he thought was reasonable. It matters what the jury deemed reasonable. It
It
doesn't
is
matter what
justified
Carmelo
using
thought was
hold on. It is
reasonable.
justified using force against another when and to the degree. By the way, that isn't proportionality. The actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful force. So Penal Code 9.31 literally is saying the opposite of what you're saying. That yes, it is what the actor reasonably believes in that immediate situation. To the degree
Okay,
of
but
what
it
is
doesn't
happening.
matter if Carmelo thinks it's reasonable. The jury
literally
didn't
does.
think it was reasonable. That's
that's
what
what Penal
matters.
Code
The
9.31
jury didn't think it was reasonable.
because of
That's the
because
whole
of
point.
because of racism.
That's why he's in prison right now for
No,
35 years.
because of racial inequality. That's why.
Okay,
You're
how
proving
is
my
it racial
point. You're proving my
inequality? How is
point.
it
You're
racial
proving my
inequality?
point. He is innocent, but it was
No, he's not
self-defense.
innocent.
But the
It's
jury
literally
ruled
murder.
it to be guilty because he's black.
Where's your proof for that? That's a pretty
You're
heavy
literally
claim.
saying it doesn't matter what he thought when the law is saying otherwise. The law is saying it does matter what he thought in that situation.
Because that's how a court case works. That's how the court of law works.
Again,
They obviously deemed him
you clearly
unreasonable.
aren't reading.
and
You
put him
clearly
in
aren't
prison.
hearing when I'm reading Penal Code 9.31.
Because a penal code doesn't mean that you have the right to murder someone for shoving you. It obviously doesn't matter what
Penal
the
code is.
what
You
the
have to violate again.
convicted person
In order
thinks
for
of.
something to be murder,
It's
you
all
have to
about what
vi-
the jury thinks of.
in order for something to be murder, you have to violate a penal code while in the action of killing.
He did violate a penal code.
You said 19.02, and then you said it was unreasonable, and then you said it was unreasonable because of proportionality, and then I went to Penal Code 9.31, which is the penal code in reference to self-defense, and we agreed the Penal Code 9.31 doesn't mention proportionality, right? So that's out of the window. So unless you can tell me
2.02,
how it's
when a person
unreasonable,
intentionally causes the death of someone else. That's what
What?
he did. It was murder.
Again,
19.02. It was
Sure,
murder.
what
There's
section?
no other way to put
what
it.
section?
Section 1, 19.02.
It doesn't mention
someone
intentional.
intentionally
It doesn't.
causes-
It doesn't mention intention. Intention. What? Section 1. I already read it. It doesn't mention intention. Why are you lying? Adequate cause means cause that would commonly produce a degree of anger, rage, resentment, or terror in a person of ordinary temper sufficient to
Okay, I
render
think
the
we're
mind
looking at the wrong
incapable of
different
cool
one.
reflection. I'm looking at Penal Code 19.02 murder. I'm looking at at 1, right? Unless you're reading something else, maybe ChatGPT,
No.
because I'm reading. The reason I know that you guys are gonna bring up Penal Code number 19.02, so I have it up already. I have all of the sections up. So he
Yeah,
didn't
bro,
violate this. He didn't violate this section of Penal Code number
No,
19.02.
he definitely did. He poked someone
Okay,
in the chest.
How
for
is that
getting shoved.
unreasonable? Because it's not proportionality. Because the law doesn't talk about proportion.
Because a reasonable
proportionality.
person wouldn't use fatal force against minor force. That's all it's about. He used lethal force
That's not
against
true.
non-lethal force.
That's not true.
A shove is not lethal force.
Yes, actually, that's not true. A reasonable person could use lethal force. Yes, in this situation.
No.
In fact, Carmelo
that's why
Anthony
he's
is
in
a reasonable
prison.
person who used lethal force.
Well, obviously he was deemed non-reasonable, and that's why
By
he's
who?
in prison right now. So that's
Wait,
very
who
interesting.
was he
that you
deemed
say that.
non-reasonable?
Oh, by the jury, and that's why he got
Sure,
found
source.
guilty in 3 hours.
Source that the jury deemed him unreasonable. What's the source?
That's the whole reason why he's literally in prison right
Sure,
now.
what's the source? I don't care about your feelings. What's your source?
My source is the fact that he's sitting in a fucking cell block.
No, what's your source that
Like,
says
bro,
that the jury
what?
determined to be him unreasonable? What's your source?
That's the whole reason that he was found guilty. I don't
That's
need a
great
source for
source.
that.
That's great
literally
source.
why he's in
You
a
do. Source.
cell block. Why are
That's
you
great
pivoting?
source.
You know damn well.
Am I pivoting? I'm pivoting when I'm asking for source.
He was found guilty. Obviously deemed unreasonable
Sure. What is the source?
He's
Give me the
sitting
source
in a
that he was
cell
deemed
block
unreasonable.
because he was found
Listen,
guilty.
you have 10 seconds to give me the source that he was unreasonable.
I'm not giving you the source. It's fucking obvious.
Because you don't have a source.
You're pivoting.
I'm pivoting for asking a source? Really?
You're asking a source for why he was deemed unreasonable after
No,
literally
if he was deemed unreasonable.
after
What's the source?
literally getting found guilty. No shit, he was fucking seen unreasonable. He was literally found guilty. He's sitting in a cell block for
the
35
source?
years. Nigga, that's the source.
Of course you're gonna slur. You're gonna slur to
He
one
was-
because you know as soon as you slur, I'm gonna kick you. Premeditated. By the way, you don't even know the definition of premeditated. You don't. It was not premeditated. Premeditated means planned, and that was not planned. How's it going?
What's going on? Just
Do you
to
think
speak on
Carmelo
what you,
Anthony is guilty or innocent?
yeah, he guilty as hell.
Why?
He guilty as hell because he caused serious bodily injury intentionally and knowingly. He did an act that is known to cause danger to human life by using a deadly weapon and putting it in somebody's chest.
Okay,
he did that
self-defense is
intentionally.
illegal then, right?
No,
Because
but that's-
in
but
self-defense,
that's not
people use
self-defense.
in self-defense people use deadly force, knowing that that person is gonna die. So therefore, it's illegal, right?
So what's the requirement to use deadly force in Texas?
Sure. Penal Code number 9.31, self-defense. Except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use of attempted use. Sorry, I missed word. Let me restart. Except as provided in subsection B.
Can I stop
this
you real
person-
quick?
Sure.
You're reading the wrong one. That's
I'm-
using regular force.
I'm
You have to
reading- I'm
read
reading
9
Penal
point.
Code-
Hold on. You have to read 9.32, which is deadly force in defense.
Sure, 9.32.
Because that's the
I
type
got
of
you.
force to use.
I got you. Texas Penal Code number 9.32. Sure. Which section?
You can just start from the top.
A person is justified in using deadly force against another if the actor would be justified in using force against the other under section 9.31. Oof.
Okay.
Get owned.
So wait,
So
what?
it's saying a
wait,
person is
wait.
justified. Hold on. It's saying a person is justified in using deadly force against another if the actor would be justified in using force against the other under section 9.31.
Yes. And using force.
So then why 9.32 doesn't matter? It's 9.31.
No. Stop.
It's literally
You're
quoting
misinterpreting.
9.31.
Hold on. Just hold on, bro. You're misinterpreting it.
What is there to
One-
misinterpret?
Number one, if the actor would be justified in using force against 9.31. So they're saying that that's
So
one of the
if
prerequisites.
Carmelo Anthony,
Hold on, bro.
Hold on. No, if
Hold
we're
on,
gonna
bro.
go point by point. We're gonna go.
Okay,
you read
just
number
wait.
one.
Let me
No,
land
you
my
read number
plane.
one. So
Let me land my plane, bro.
Go
Let me
ahead.
talk. That's the first prerequisite. That's number one. That's why there's a one next to it. Then you go down to number two. You don't have to be justified under one. You also have to be justified under section 2. 1 is the first
Read it.
prerequisite.
Read section
2
2.
is the second one. When and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the deadly force is immediately necessary.
And it
to
was
protect
immediately
the
necessary.
actor, hold on, to protect the actor against the other's use of unlawful deadly force. So what deadly force did Austin use against Carmelo to where it was immediately necessary for him to respond with that poker?
It was the aggression in the push that was justified.
So you're saying a push is deadly force?
It doesn't. The actor, Austin Metcalf, did not have to use deadly force.
Well, so is a push deadly force? Is a shove? We'll call it a shove.
A push or a shove can be deadly force. Yes.
Okay, so now let's go to chapter 9 of the law, right? Because you're saying, remember what you said, a push is deadly force.
No, I said it can be. Yes.
Can be. Is it or is it not? Like
It can
it's not.
be in some
it can be.
instances.
But what was the
The
shove
same
that
way as like
Austin
killing isn't
gave to
inherently
Carmelo?
killing isn't inherently wrong, right?
Okay,
In
but
some
was the
cases, killing
shove
is right. In some cases, killing is wrong. The same way as shoving can be deadly force, and sometimes it isn't.
is the
That's not
shove that
contradictory.
is the shove that that Austin used against Carmelo, was that deadly force?
Was that deadly force? What do you define as deadly force?
Deadly force means force that is intended or known by the actor to cause, or in the manner of its intended use, or intended use, is capable of causing death or serious bodily injury. So is the shove? Hold on. So is
Sure.
the shove that that Austin gave Carmelo in the manner of its intended use, was that intended to cause serious bodily injury or death to Carmelo?
Did Austin Metcalf intend to cause serious injury or death? Probably. But well, I'll just say no for the sake of the argument. I'll
Probably
just say
no. Okay, so no, because we understand that from the witness testimony, the push was hard, but not hard enough to harm somebody. And I can
It's
bring
about
up the
intention, no?
testimony, huh?
It's about intention. Did you not say it was about intention?
Right, but we
So it
have
doesn't matter if
witness,
the push was hard or not. It's about the
Wait, wait,
intention
wait.
of whether or
We
not
have
Austin
witness-
Metcalf wanted to cause injury or death. Holy shit!
Brother,
What a
we
what a
have
what a, what a
witness-
fumble! You just dropped the ball
bro. What are you talking about,
because the intention matters, and you
coping
just
right
agreed
now.
to
Just
that. It doesn't
listen.
matter what happened. The intention
bro?
matters.
You're coping right now. We have witness testimony that testified that the shove was hard.
Yeah, I'm not denying that, but you said it was intention.
Bro, are you gonna let me finish, or are you just gonna keep talking over
No,
me
because you're saying
you're
the same
losing?
thing over and over again.
No, you're not letting me land my plane because you know it's proving you wrong. So just listen.
You've been.
We
trying to
know
land your
from the
plane for 10
witnesses
minutes.
that the shove was hard, but not hard enough to harm anyone, according to the testimony.
But with what you just said,
So
it doesn't
hold
matter.
on. So
Intention
that
matters.
push
No,
in the
hold
manner
on.
of its
No, hold on.
intended
No,
use
hold
was
on.
not deadly force.
Now hold on. How do you know that it was his? How do you know it wasn't his intention to cause bodily harm or injury?
Because we have witness testimony that said the shove wasn't that hard. It wasn't
That
hard
doesn't
enough
mean
to
that it
hurt
wasn't his
anyone.
intention. Holy shit! What?
Brother, are
The
you
witness
listening?
testimonies didn't know his intention.
You know how hard it is to prove intent? We're going off of
You're the one saying that
circumstances.
intention is needed.
We're
You're
going
the one
off
that's
of
saying intention is needed.
circumstantial
Holy
evidence.
shit!
Bro, we're going off circumstantial evidence. If everybody is saying the push wasn't that hard, is
But
that gonna
you
cause...
said the intention
Hold on,
matters.
bro. Hold on. If
You're saying
everyone
the same thing
says
over and
the
over
push
again. Holy
wasn't
shit.
that hard, if we know that after he pushed Carmelo, he immediately got poked right after that, and we know based on their testimony the push wasn't that hard,
But you said intention.
then we
matters.
know that that push was not intended to cause serious bodily injury or
Not
death.
true. Not true. We don't know that.
Bro, you're coping so hard.
Intention?
You're
Hold on.
coping so
How do we
hard
know?
right
How do we
now.
know? Like, for example, if I grab a gun and like shoot at someone and it misses, was my intention to kill them? Yes or no?
Did he use a gun?
Yes or no?
That's a false equivalent.
Yes or no?
He didn't use a gun.
It's a yes or no.
Bro, you're being
It's
disingenuous
a
right
yes or
now.
Okay, I'll give you something that is
Give
less
something
lethal.
that's
I'll
equivalent
I'll
to
give you
the
something. I'll give you
situation.
something. Fine. If you, it's not. It is analogous, by the way. But I'll give you something less lethal.
No, that is
if
not
my-
analogous at all because
It is.
Austin didn't
It
have
is
a
analogous, and I'll show you how. Right? You were
Austin did
complaining
not
about
have
me.
a gun,
you,
bro.
you were complaining about me interrupting. Now, don't interrupt
Go
me.
ahead, go
so
ahead.
let's say if I punch someone, but I miss, right? Was my intention to punch them or not?
Yes.
Okay, but I missed.
Is a punch deadly force?
It can be. Yeah, sure.
No, is
Depending on
it
the
yes or no? Is
It
a
can be.
is a regular punch deadly force?
It can be. Yes.
Have you ever been punched?
I don't know. Sure.
Bro, why can't you answer a question directly?
Why does
Have
that
you
matter?
yes,
We're talking
it's yes or
about- We're
no.
talking about law.
Have you ever been punched?
Have I ever been punched? That doesn't matter. Why would I bring my anecdotes?
Bro, you have a good one.
You're gonna run away because you know that analogy
You're not
that I
answering
presented
the
absolutely
you're
cooks
the
you.
one running. You're not answering
Hold on,
the
why does my
question.
anecdotes matter? Why do my anecdotes matter?
I'm trying to make a point, bro.
What's your point?
Like how you tried to make a false equivalent saying that Austin had a gun.
I never
So
said
have you
Austin
ever
had a
been
gun.
punched?
What? Hold on. When did I ever say Austin had a gun?
Have you ever been punched, bro?
I'm not
Yes
gonna
or
answer
no?
that question. That doesn't matter.
Have you ever seen someone get punched?
Have you ever had sex?
Have you ever seen someone get punched?
Oh, looks like you don't want to answer the
bro, you're
question. Well, I
dodging
should
so
kick you for
hard
not
right now.
answering my
It's not even
question.
funny. You're embarrassing yourself. Have you ever seen
were
somebody
literally-
get punched?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, did that person get unalived by the punch?
Yeah, but they definitely could have bodily injury or harm.
Were they seriously hurt, maimed, missing a limb? Did they have to go to the hospital?
In some instances, people
from
who get
one
punched do have
punch.
to go to the hospital. Yeah.
I'm asking you from what you saw.
What I saw is my anecdotes. I don't like using anecdotes in arguments.
Bro, it's
Can
called
we agree
an
that a punch can
analogy.
send someone
It's
to the
called an
hospital?
analogy.
Can we agree a
What are
punch
the
can send someone to the
probabilities of
hospital?
that? What is the probability of that?
But it's not
Is it
impossible.
1 out of 1,000,
Is
1
it
out of
impossible? Hold on,
100?
is it impossible?
It's not. The law doesn't work.
Precisely. It's
The
not
law
impossible.
doesn't
So
work.
can
Hold
we
on,
get
this
back
is
on
where-
track? I know you're
this is
trying to
where-
pivot away from the
bro,
analogy.
now
that I
you're
presented.
running.
Can we
Now
get
you're
back on
running.
track? Can we get back on track? You said
You're
that his
running from the
intention-
analogy because you know you're embarrassing yourself.
I answered
dude.
your analogy.
Just answer
like
the
twice.
question. No, you didn't.
I
You
answered
ran
2 of your
away.
questions.
Did the person you saw get punched have to go to the hospital? Yes or
Yes.
no? You're lying, bro.
I'm not.
You're lying.
See,
You're lying.
How do you prove I'm lying, and how do I prove I'm not lying? That's why I don't like using anecdotes, dumbass. That's why don't ask me for my anecdotes, because we
Now
then
you're doing
get in
personal
a situation
attacks.
like this. Right?
Usually when
then you
start
get in a situation
insulting
where
and
you
doing
say I'm
personal
lying,
attacks,
and
that
I
means
say
you
I'm
lost
not
the
lying,
debate,
and how
bro.
do I prove that? How do you prove I'm lying?
When you
Prove that
start
I'm lying.
insulting people, that means you lost the debate.
Prove that I'm lying. Oh, you
I've
can't.
never seen someone have to go to the hospital from one punch
Okay, I
unless they
have.
were an old man, 2 young 17-year-olds punching each other in the face.
Unless,
in the face.
keyword, you said unless, right?
Un-
Meaning you have seen it.
Yeah, we're talking about 2
Cool.
17-year-olds.
No, you didn't ask me for the age of the people now. You just said, have you
Bro,
seen someone get
you're-
punched, and has that punch,
Stick to the
brought them to
framing
hospital?
of the situation.
Well, maybe present the
It's
framing.
2 17-year-olds.
Okay, 2 17-year-olds.
Don't you have a whole topic about it? How do you not know?
Well, you presented me with a hypothetical, and you didn't give me the proper framing. That's not my fault.
Because I'm trying to make a point and you ran away from every point.
Maybe actually make the framing first.
Are you looking at your comments? So you're embarrassing yourself.
That's great. Holy shit.
A one punch is not going to send a 17-year-old to the hospital or seriously injure them or cause death.
I can seriously injure them, yeah.
So what is the probability of that?
It's possible. I said it can.
Okay, that's not the question. The question is, what is the probability of that happening?
The fact is, it can happen.
Okay, so the law doesn't work on probability. It works on immediate necessity.
Precisely. Penal code number 9.31
Right.
and penal code number 9.32.
So if you're saying there's a
But
1 out of 100
we're talking about my
chance
analogy. Can we
of
go back to
one
my analogy
punch-
now that you tried to disprove it, but you couldn't?
I know you're getting cooked right
you
now,
were able to
but
go
just
through your
relax.
analogy, and I'm going to mute you. And I want to go back to my analogy. I want to put this out there. You're the one who pivoted away from my analogy. So my analogy,
Your analogy
was
is
that
not
let's say
equivalent.
you made the claim that his intention was not to cause bodily harm or injury because bodily harm or injury wasn't caused. Well, yeah, the same way if I miss a punch when I punch someone, my intention is still to punch them and cause harm or bodily injury, but it didn't happen. Therefore, under your worldview, my intention was to not cause bodily harm or injury, right?
The point is the punch and the manner of intent, if its intended
Pivot.
use is not deadly force. That's not a pivot. That's the
It
whole
is a
core
pivot.
of the
I'm answering my
argument.
analogy.
That's the whole core of the argument. A punch
If my
or
intended
a push.
use of a punch was to cause
First of all,
bodily
it
harm or
wasn't a
injury,
punch. It was a push. So I'm
It's an
actually
analogy.
I'm giving you more to work with by saying it's a punch. But I'm also saying a punch is not deadly force anyway. So either way, you still
Can be.
lose. Either way, you
Can be.
still
It can-
lose.
a punch could cause bodily harm or injury.
But can it cause death in the manner of its intended use?
We're not talking about death. What? Now you're shifting the goalpost.
That's
to
what the
saying
law
death.
says.
Now you're
bro.
shifting the go. Wait, hold on. Where does penal code number
We're talking
9.31?
about deadly
Where does
force.
where does
What are we
hold on,
talking about?
hold on. You just made the biggest fumble. Where does penal code number 9.31 and 9.32 mention death? Where? Where does it mention
Deadly
death?
force. We're talking about deadly force.
No,
Deadly
hold
force
on,
means.
hold on.
Let me read the definition for you again.
Hold on.
since
Can you read
you
number
forgot.
one? Can you read number penal code number?
No, we're gonna read the
9.31?
definition of deadly force.
Read,
since you
hold on.
forgot
Read
the
penal code number
argument.
9.31.
You completely forgot the argument.
Where does it
Means
say
force
deadly
that is
force?
intended
Where does
or
it say
known
deadly
by
force?
the
Where does it
actor
say deadly force? Hold
to
on. Yeah,
cause
hold on.
or in the manner of its intent,
Holy shit.
capable of causing death or serious bodily injury. That's why we're talking
Where
about
does it? Hold on.
death. Okay,
In
buddy,
penal code
keep
number
up.
9.31 or nine.
Can you
In
keep
penal
up,
code number
buddy? Can you-
9.31.
Are you
Where does
tracking
it say
now?
deadly force?
Are you tracking?
In penal code number 9.31, where does it say deadly force?
We're talking about 932. You're
Okay,
not even tracking the
we
argument.
were- I'm
bro.
referencing
You're
number
going back to
9.31, which is all
931. We're
self-defense.
talking about 932. 931 is
9.3
fine. 931 is fine. He's already
Okay,
he's clear
so-
under 931 already.
So then under penal code number 9.32,
no.
a
Stop
person
running away. Why are you running
I'm
away?
reading penal code number 9.32.
Why are you running from the argument?
You
The
didn't even
argument
provide an
is
argument. You read
a
a
push
definition.
is not deadly force. That's the argument. Keep up, bruh. The argument is a push is not deadly force. So explain to me how Austin used deadly force against Carmelo to where he's justified in using a deadly weapon against him.
It's a reasonable belief. That's why. That's what
Okay,
Penal Code
what is a
9.32.
reasonable belief?
Yeah, it's
Now
within
explain
the,
what a
within the
reasonable
actor,
belief is.
within the actor, and what they deem to be reasonable in that very moment.
It's another prudent or reasonable person in the same situation as that actor. So if we take another prudent, reasonable person and ask them, is a push deadly force?
We're not
They're going
determining
to
whether or not
say
push is a
no.
deadly force. We're determining
They're going
whether or
to
not
say
using
no.
deadly force is justified or reasonable in this instance. We're not talking about Aston Metcalf. We're talking about Carmelo Anthony. Holy shit, keep track.
What, bro, you're doing horrible. You're doing horrible.
You're the one talking about Aston
The
Metcalf.
law
We're talking
says
about,
that
Carmelo
you can
Anthony.
only use deadly force if you are facing deadly force.
Not true.
You have
be
to
justified.
reasonably
Not true. Not
believe.
true. You hold on. You just
You have to
you just
reasonably
lied.
believe.
You just lied. You can use deadly
Bro,
force.
you're interrupting again.
You just lied
I know
because
you're
hold on.
panicking.
The reason
You're
why I'm
panicking.
interrupting you is because you lied. Because you have to be justified under
You're
9.31.
panicking. Yes, he's already justified.
So
931
then
is fine.
it's not only reasonable force, right? It's being justified under 9.31 and reasonable force, right?
There's other requirements. You don't just
Precisely.
have
So
to.
it's not
You
just
just don't
one.
have.
Thank you for
Bruh,
conceding.
be quiet. That was not a concession.
You literally said there was multiple.
931 is the first requirement. Then there's a whole nother
You just said
paragraph
only
of
if.
requirements when you have to use deadly force.
Yes.
I know you know what I'm saying. You just don't want to look wrong on
You
your
just
live.
worded it
I
wrong. That's
understand
why.
that.
I think you should learn vocabulary first.
I think you just don't
Really?
want to look wrong on your live, and I understand that.
I'm
but
wrong
you gotta
all the
be
time.
genuine.
I'm wrong
You
on
gotta
a
be
lot of things.
genuine, bro.
I'm
gotta be
wrong on a lot of
genuine.
things.
The fact that you're not even letting
Oh,
me
it's trying to
talk
play semantics.
shows
Yeah, law is semantics.
the fact
by the
that
way. Law is
you keep interrupting
we have
is
to
why
interpret laws.
you're losing, bro. It's proof that you're losing. You're
The only
embarrassing
person
yourself.
who needs to
You're
say the other person
embarrassing
is losing is
yourself.
the one who's losing. By the way, I think
You're
projecting.
embarrassing yourself right now.
You're
You've been
projecting.
wrong on every single point.
Name one point I was wrong on.
Every single one.
Name one.
You said a punch is deadly force. You said a push.
No, I never said. I never said it was.
You said you tried
I
to
said it
use
can
an
be.
analogy where Austin has a gun.
I never said Austin.
Like,
I was never trying
You
to
used an
put-
analogy that put the actor having a gun, which didn't
You know
happen.
what an analogy is? What's an analogy?
Do you?
What I was trying to portray or what I was trying to compare was not the force that was used, i.e., a punch, i.e., a gun, i.e., a push. It was the reasonable belief within those circumstances. You clearly don't know what you're talking about. You don't know law, and you don't know the definitions of things, which is needed when you're talking about law.
What reasonable person is going to believe that a push is deadly force? Answer that question.
In the situation of Carmelo Anthony, I think most people would believe that that's force, deadly force.
Most people.
Yes, a lot of people.
So did the
A lot.
21 witnesses that testified in court, are those most people?
No, those are not most people. How many?
So
people
what
are
did
in
they
the, How many
testify?
people are in
Did they
America?
say-
How many people are in America?
Does that include most
Well,
people, the witnesses that
well,
testified? Is
Does
that
that
under the
include most
is
people?
that under the umbrella of most people? Yes or no?
Are they included within American society? Yes.
Okay. And what did they
They are
testify?
not most people.
What did they? You said most people, not me.
I said they
That's what you
themselves are
said.
not the most. They are not a majority of people.
I said, does that fall under the umbrella, the definition of most people?
I would say no.
Oh, now
people
it's
doesn't
now
fall.
it's no.
21 people doesn't fall under the umbrella of most.
So
people, no.
what is most people defined?
Most people like
people.
a majority.
Okay, so those students fall under the majority of people. This is dumb.
No.
Let's just move to the next
No,
point.
most people.
What
those
did they
21 kids don't
testify
fall
in
under the
court?
majority. A majority would be 51.
What did they testify in court? Did they say that
majority-
push was deadly force?
A majority would be 51% or more.
Did any of the witnesses say that push looked like deadly force?
I don't care about the court case because it uses race, right? It's
Now you don't
racism.
care about the court case.
It's racial
Now you don't-
inequality
you don't-
within
so you
court.
don't. You accuse me of not knowing about law, but you don't
You
care
don't.
about due process.
No, I don't care about what they determined because it was racial inequality as determined by Penal Code number 9.31, 9.32, and
Keep
19.02.
bringing up 931. 931
I
doesn't
brought up all
apply
three, dumbass.
anymore.
Holy shit, pay attention.
931 doesn't even
I
apply.
brought
We're
up
talking about
mine, yours, and
932.
19.02. Holy shit, keep track.
Talking about 9.32, deadly force.
Yes,
Keep up,
we're
bro.
talking about all three of them. Holy shit.
You're not tracking. You're not tracking the
You're
conversation.
not
It's
the one
obvious.
with your listening ears on?
You still haven't proven how a push is deadly force.
It can be.
It can be is not an answer. It can be is not an answer. It has to
Is
be
killing
yes
is
or
killing
no.
in, is killing inherently illegal?
No.
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 Okay, cool.
What
What now?
what was Austin? What Carmelo did was that self-defense.
Yes.
No, it wasn't because he doesn't meet the requirements of 9.32.
Yes, he does.
Explain how a push is deadly force. We're just going to keep going in this circle.
Can you read 9.32 again? Or read it
No,
for the
can you
class?
answer my question? Can you
Read it for the
explain
class.
how a push is deadly force? Explain how
Um,
specifically that push was deadly force.
Yeah, for example, like if you get pushed like hard enough, you can like fall, and that could cause bodily harm or injury.
Did that happen to Carmelo?
It's not determining whether or not it did happen. It's whether or not it would have happened, and whether or not Carmelo Anthony had reasonable belief that
When
it could happen.
when
Holy shit.
Carmelo
You
got
don't understand
pushed,
law. That's why you
did
don't
that
understand
happen?
law. That's why you don't understand law because we're
No,
not.
because you
Hold
keep
on.
bringing up a
Carmelo
hypothetical.
Anthony. Carmelo
You keep
Anthony.
bringing in a hypothetical when that hypothetical situation didn't happen.
Because it's what the actor reasonably believes, dumbass.
The push happened, dumbass. It already happened. So was he seriously hurt or injured?
It's what
no.
he reasonably believes.
So that means it wasn't justified. It. What do you mean reasonably believe? It already happened. The push already happened.
It's
What are you
still
talking
reasonable
about?
belief within
You're
the
bringing
scenario.
in a hypothetical when the action already happened.
Yes, the action of the push did happen. Yes.
And was Carmelo seriously injured?
Was he injured after the whole situation? No, I think we know this.
Okay,
Was
so
he
then
seriously injured? No.
why is he
That isn't just because
justified?
they weren't
in,
seriously injured.
why
Because
is he
it's-
justified in poking someone
because
after he was
because he had
pushed and he
reasonable
was not
belief.
injured?
Because he had reasonable belief that he could have been injured.
Bro, you are an idiot.
That's what the law says.
Have
By
a
the way,
good day.
that's what the law says. You're gonna run away because of what the law says. Run away, beta. Yeah, run away, coward. People don't understand law. So you guys are double tapping that phone screen if you haven't already. How's it going? Do you support Trump, Chris?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you support not do you support Trump? Do you think Carmelo Anthony is guilty or innocent?
Absolutely, 100% believe he's guilty.
Why?
Because of what the last guy said, there's no proof that there was deadly force in the push. To be honest, he pushed him, inviting him to
Doesn't
fight,
need to be
not to
deadly
hurt
force.
him.
Reasonable
He
belief
pushed
that there is deadly force.
he pushed him to fight, not to hurt him.
Sure, you think that he's guilty. Okay, you think that he committed a crime. What penal code did he violate?
I don't care about no penis code, none of that. You can read my penis code, but the whole thing was he pushed him to
Precisely the
fight.
point.
That
You
was
don't
the
know
whole
what you're
point of
talking
it.
You don't know what you're talking about.
The whole point of it was to push him, to invite him to fight. There was no push him to hurt him, push him off a building, push him off a mountain. There was nothing like that.
Do you know the
He
no
pushed him.
duty to retreat laws?
You said what?
No duty to retreat.
No duty
You know
to
the-
retreat. What do you? Oh, okay,
You know the
explain
laws?
it.
Do you know them? Do you know the stand your ground?
No,
law?
no. Yeah, apparently I'm not informed. Inform me. What is it?
Clearly, you're not informed. So the no duty to retreat is typically going to refer to Penal Code number 9.31 and 9.32. As we've already read over it, I can read Penal Code number 9.31 and 9.32. Penal Code number 9.31 is as follows. Quote, except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful force, right? So use or attempted use of unlawful force. The actor believes that the force was immediately necessary as described by this subsection, right? Penal Code number 9.32 reads as follows, and I quote,
Penis code.
a person is justified in using deadly force against another if the actor would be justified in using force against the other under section 9.31, which we just read, when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the deadly force is immediately necessary That's 2. A, to protect the actor against the other's use of attempted against the actor's
Okay,
use
so explain
or
how the push
attempted
is
use
deadly
of unlawful
force.
deadly force.
Explain how the push was deadly force. Explain.
Attempted use. Holy shit. Attempted.
No, explain how it was deadly force.
It doesn't have to be deadly force. It could be attempted use of deadly force.
Yeah, but how is it attempted deadly force? Explain.
Because a push can be deadly force.
How can it be deadly force in that situation? He didn't push him that hard. He just pushed him to fight him.
Injury.
He just pushed him to fight him. Wait, I can tell. Wait, you've actually never been in a fight before, ever in your life. You
Holy
not
shit,
at all.
going back to anecdotes, Velasquez tried to do anecdotes.
No. I'm
liar.
just saying in general
You can't
because you
prove
don't
I'm a liar.
understand. You don't understand it.
You don't understand law.
You're defending somebody who can't fight because you can't fight. That's your whole point of this entire conversation.
And you're defending a court that is racist and has racial
I am not
inequality.
defending the court as racist. Clearly, they found something that was justifiable to put him in prison. They wouldn't have done it
What
just for
penal
no
code did he
reason.
break? Then what? Because in order for it to be unlawful, he has to violate a penal
A
code.
push
So what
isn't
penal
deadly
code-
force. So why
what
stab
penal
somebody
code did
because
he
you
break?
got pushed? That sounds like you're just really fucking a weak ass motherfucker.
Okay, penal code number 9.32.
To stab somebody over getting
hold on.
pushed,
Penal code number 9.32.
You deserve to go to prison.
Penal code
Maybe
number
even a psych
9.32.
ward.
Penal code number 9.32 to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use. For example,
Attempted use.
if he didn't get pushed,
So
if he
your
didn't get pushed,
excuse
he would still
is
be justified.
he believed by that little baby push that he hit him with that it was an intent to kill him. So he decided in his mind it was right to stab him.
Again, it's not. So yes, actually yes, I'll say yes. It was reasonable. Yes, it was a reasonable belief. Yes.
Do you believe that he used deadly force in the push?
Do I believe? It doesn't matter what I believe, whether or not. Austin
No, yeah,
Metcalf
no. Genuinely, was it deadly force? What he used?
Was the
Was
push
that push
deadly
deadly
force?
force? Was it gonna hurt him real
I can
bad?
say no.
You can say no.
Well, are you asking, did it?
So if
Did
it was a
Hold on,
no,
did it?
then why would he
hold on,
stab him?
hold on. You changed your question. Did it? No. Could it have? Yes. So what?
Right, but it wasn't.
You asked it, but you asked, could it have? And the answer is yes. It could have. Did it?
Could
No.
have. What do you mean?
It could have. A push can be cause bodily harm or injury.
Right, but it wasn't,
But you asked me, could
and it didn't.
Holy
Once
shit.
he look,
But no,
was
it's
he
not whether or
fine
not I
after the
did.
push?
You're asking me whether or not I could have.
No. Was he fine after the push? Was he fine?
No, you're not. You didn't ask me. Did it? You asked me, could it have?
No, I said was, or now I'm saying was. Was he all right after
Was
he was
he all
pushed?
right? Sure. I'll say yes.
Right, yeah, he was fine. He was fine. There was no reason to stab somebody now then after that.
Yes, there was reason. He had reasonable belief. In that
A
very
reasonable
moment.
belief.
Yes.
So to me, it just sounds like he was weak-hearted. And honestly,
That's great. That's not what
it's
penal code number
justifiable that his
9.31.
ass is sitting in that stinking ass cell, just
You
as
can't
you
even tell me
probably
what
should
penal
right
code he
next to him.
violated.
You guys would be
You can't
great
even tell me what
buddies.
penal code he
I'm gonna keep
violated.
it a buck.
Is killing
And the dude
inherently-
laughed, and the dude last time was dogging the fuck out of you.
Is killing inherently unlawful? Yes or no? Sent you an invite to unmute.
You
Is
muted me,
killing
huh?
Unlawful.
You,
Yeah, I did.
you
Is
silenced
killing
me. Okay,
inherently
man.
unlawful?
No. You're vouching for bullshit.
killing
You know this
inherently
whole shit is
unlawful?
rage bait. You know this whole
Bullshit.
shit is rage bait.
Can you answer the question?
You keep reading penises codes. Nobody cares about no damn penis codes, cuz. You know damn well this shit is wrong. You can't fight. Just accept
you
it,
can
bro.
say it's morally
Bro
wrong.
got pushed in.
That wasn't me. That was a mod. You can say it's morally wrong. Doesn't mean it's legally. It doesn't mean it's unlawful. Answer the question. I sent you an invite to unmute. That was not me. That was a mod.
keep muting me, bro. Hold on, wait.
Is killing unlawful? Yes or no?
Killing is absolutely unlawful.
Is so self-defense is unlawful?
In a self-defense situation where you're actually posed as a threat, like it's a gun, a
But
knife,
that's
whatever
killing.
the situation is.
You're still killing them. You said killing is unlawful. Killing.
Oh,
includes
killing is
self-defense.
unlawful, obviously, but if it's self-defense, that's not unlawful.
So killing is not inherently unlawful then.
No, so you're justifying if I run up and I
Just
push
answer the
you,
question. Is
No, wait.
killing inherently unlawful? Yes or no?
Carmelo's was absolutely.
We're not talking
yeah.
about Carmelo Anthony. We're talking about law. Is killing inherently unlawful? Yes or no?
No.
Perfect. Right. So in order for it to be murder, he had to violate a penal code while in the action of killing.
Wait,
So
wait.
my
I was
question,
gonna say.
hold on. My question
No,
to you
no,
is,
no, shut the fuck up. No,
my question to you is,
no,
my
actually,
question to you
listen,
is, what
listen.
penal
Don't mute
code
me
did he
either. Don't
violate?
mute me. Didn't
penal
he
code did he
bring the
violate?
knife intentionally because he knew he had problems with that kid there?
No, it was a multi-tool. It wasn't even a knife.
It was-
Holy shit. It was a mod, not me.
He was going to a school track meet with a multi-tool with a knife.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
That's legal, by the way. That's legal. He could.
Yeah, but
he's
I'm saying though,
lawfully
he
allowed to do
knew
it.
that he could have ran into that kid. He already knew.
That's great.
And in the
That's
moment
legal.
that the problem arose, the kid pushed him.
So then
he knew in his mind he was going to stab him.
So then you're against the Second Amendment, right? You're against open carry.
Oh no, I mean no, absolutely not. But
Wait,
he
but they
obviously
know that
brought-
they
wait,
hold on.
this is a
They
school
hold on.
event, though. Why would
But
you bring a
under
knife
your
to a school
perspective,
event?
under your perspective, they know they could run into someone who is dangerous and have to kill them.
You said what?
Under your perspective, open carry, the person knows that they could run into someone and have to use self-defense and kill them, right? That's why they're open carrying for self-defense, right? Holy shit! I just used your own argument against
Wait,
you.
no, but
with
it was
the
at a
Constitution.
school event though.
Okay, it's still legal. He was lawfully allowed to be there, and he was legally allowed to carry.
Well,
the
yeah,
multi-tool.
actually, that's a good
I don't care
question.
about
Was
your-
it
I don't care about
permitted
your-
under the venue rules to carry to have weapons there?
lawfully? He was lawfully allowed to be there and lawfully allowed to have the multi-tool.
But did they allow weapons though? Like if they knew he had a knife, would they have let him in?
The multi-tools are allowed. Yes,
Or multi-tool with a knife on it is allowed.
multi-tools are allowed. Yes.
Oh, people are saying right here it actually wasn't legal. He wasn't
What's your
supposed
source?
to have it.
What's your source?
I mean, just in general, maybe the venue itself.
What's the source? Provide me the title. You just.
If that's
you're
the case, he
digging
wasn't
your
even
hole.
supposed to have
I
it.
promise you.
But not. It was
Listen,
lawfully,
listen,
yes, but
listen.
not by the
I don't want to
school
be. Just give me 10
rules.
seconds. Give me 10 seconds for the
All
chat.
right, yeah,
you
give 10
guys,
seconds.
you guys can talk. I know you guys hate me. Most of you guys are not on my side because most of you guys are racist bigots. But
Race. Okay, so now you want to call me racist because you lose it.
Not you.
All right.
I was talking. Not you. The chat. Not you. The
Oh,
chat.
all right, yeah,
chat.
probably me too.
I'm talking to the chat, but you, I encourage you to look up what the chat is saying, and for the chat, look up what I'm saying. Don't trust what the guests are saying. Don't read the comments and don't trust them, and don't read me and look
Well,
up the
why
penal
should I
codes and
trust
read
what
them
you're
up.
saying? You're defending a murderer.
I'm giving you the penal codes to show that it's not
You
murder.
keep giving me
And again,
penis
again,
codes, bro. I don't
in
care
order,
about
in order,
penis codes, bro.
in order for it to be murder, he has to violate a penal code while in the action of killing. And you can't tell me the penal code he violated.
But you can't tell me that the white
So
kid's
therefore, it's
intent
not
was
murder.
deadly force with the push. You keep pushing over it. You can't tell me that was his
But
intent.
made
You
the
don't
claim,
know.
That's a pivot. You made the claim it's murder. Pivot. Answer the question. What penal code
No,
did
no,
he
no, no.
violate?
You don't know what his intent was with the
For the
push.
fourth
You
time,
don't know
what penal
that.
code did he violate?
Killing, yeah, this is no.
the
You
fifth
don't
time,
know
what penal code did he
what his
violate?
intent was with the deadly push. So
For the
and
sixth
obviously
time, what penal code did he
Carmelo
violate?
didn't either.
For the seventh time, what penal code did he violate?
What penis codes, bro? You gotta shut that shit
For
off,
the
bro.
eighth
We're having a
time,
civil conversation,
what
not talking about no
penal
penis
code-
codes.
What penal code did he
If
violate?
you want
for
to
the
talk
eighth
about
time?
penis codes, go on the hub, cause
For
I'm
the
not listening
ninth
to the shit.
time, what penal code did he violate?
What penis code? Explain. What did he violate?
He didn't violate a penal code. That's why it's not murder lawfully. You can say morally, it's unjust termination of human life. Morally, sure, but those are your own morals. Lawfully, it is not murder because in order for it to be murder, it has to be you have to be in the action of killing while violating a penal code.
Okay, so
You can say- you can say
explain
you're morally-
this
you can say
penis
morally.
code shit.
You can say morally you think it's a murder because it's unjust termination of human life. That's my definition of murder.
But you still
But the
can't.
legal
you,
definition.
You still can't tell me if it was deadly force or not. If the intent behind the push was deadly force, because you said if it was deadly force, then he could use his murderous intent back or whatever because it was justified because he believed it. But was there truthfully a deadly force intent behind the push?
It's not about. It's about what Carmelo Anthony believed was reasonable.
So basically, by saying, okay, if that's the case, then if he believed that he wanted to go to that place and shoot the shit out of everybody, if somebody said something wrong or pushed him, that it was justified, just because Carmelo in his mind he thought it, so everybody else should just agree with it.
No,
So
that
just
wouldn't be
because he
reasonable.
feels he
That
should
wouldn't
kill
be
everybody,
reasonable.
it actually
The keyword-
people should
the
stand
keyword-
behind
The keyword
that.
is reasonable.
You said what?
The keyword is reasonable. It's not reasonable.
How is it not reasonable? So if he stabbed two
Like,
people, would
someone
that be
talking
reasonable?
shit. Someone talking shit and then like you going out to like shoot up a school. That's not reasonable. Holy shit.
No, it didn't matter if
Like,
he said it or not.
justifying
He was
school
thinking
shootings.
it. We don't know what he was even thinking before he even got there with the multi-tool.
But we know it wasn't
You
premeditated.
don't know Carmelo, bro.
It wasn't,
not
and
gonna
you don't know
fuck
Austin
you. You don't know
Metcalf.
him.
Therefore, you can't tell his intentions. So when you ask me about his intentions, it doesn't matter. That's why I don't care about his intentions. I care about the penal
No,
code,
I'm
number
saying
9.31 and 9.32.
So you're
and,
just saying
penal
just
code.
because Carmelo in his mind thought it was reasonable to stab him, that now we should all agree with it. Like, yeah, we should back him for that.
According to law, yes.
According to law. Okay, so you're just
Would you like me to read- would you
according
like
to
me
a
to read
murderer's
law?
mind.
Well, no, would you like me to read the law? I can read it to you.
Go ahead, read your little penis codes, dog. Let me listen.
Penal code number 9.31, self-defense, and I quote, except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful force. The actor's belief that the force was immediately necessary, as described by this subsection, is presumed to be reasonable if the actor, one, knew or had reason to believe that the person against him, whom the force was used, unlawfully, unlawfully and with force entered or was attempting to enter unlawfully and with force in the actor's occupied habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment. B, unlawfully with force or removed, right? This is like standard ground laws or no duty
So,
to retreat, right?
stabbing for pussy is
for
reasonable.
example, if someone tells you to leave and you're legally allowed to be there,
Whoever this
There are-
Whoa
this is a
or
no
whatever the
duty
fuck her
to
name is, she
retreat
needs
law.
to shut the fuck up.
what?
She said, that, can I be up there so I can mute him when he interrupts you? Yeah, that's just double teaming. That wouldn't even be fair. But is stabbing for a push reasonable?
In Austin Metcalf's, not Austin Metcalf, in Carmelo Anthony's case, yes.
In Anthony's opinion, he thought it was reasonable. Don't mean
No,
it's
in
right.
his case, it was reasonable.
No, it wasn't reasonable. He was pushed. That's it. Nothing more. He didn't push him to the ground and then beat the shit out of him. No, he just gave him a shove. That was it. And Carmelo knew that was really nothing crazy. He was just mad in the moment because he's around all
do
his
you know-
friends.
How do
He
you know
decided he
if-
wanted to stab him
question,
and make an example out of him. That's what it was.
Question. How do you know if Carmelo Anthony didn't stab Austin Metcalf? How do you know Austin Metcalf wouldn't beat the shit out of him? How do you know that?
You said what?
How do you know?
How do I know that he wouldn't beat
how-
the shit out of him?
Yeah, how do you know that he wouldn't have beat the shit out of Carmelo Anthony if he hadn't been stabbed?
Let's
How?
say he did beat the shit out of him. Is that still reasonable to shoot or
Yes.
stab him?
Yes, that is where the reasonable
How?
belief
How?
comes in. Because oh my god, let me read it to you
It's
again.
a fist fight.
Let me read it to you again. No, it's stand your ground laws. You don't understand.
But this
what
is the
you're
thing.
talking
He
about.
didn't, though. He actually
let me
did it.
read it again. It's not whether he did or not. Except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified. Okay, so let me interpret this. Someone is justified in using force against another, right? So in using force against another actor, against another person,
Yeah.
when and to the degree, to whatever degree, the actor, right, the one who is going to use self-defense,
Yeah.
reasonably believes the force, what they're about to use, is immediately necessary, meaning it has to happen right now, to protect the actor. It has to happen right now to protect the guy against the other actor's use. It has to happen right now to protect the guy against what the other actor is going to do or has done, right? It says against the other actor's use or attempted use. So it doesn't matter what happened. It matters what happened or could have happened. Use or attempted use. The same way as sexual exploitation. I bring this a lot because I debate Trump supporters. Sexual exploitation is any actual or attempted abuse of position of vulnerability, trust, or power for sexual gratification, right? It's not what did happen. It's what could have happened.
Right. So what could have happened was him beat the shit out of him, but it didn't. That's kind of the point. So there was no reason for him to stab him.
In the moment, it was reasonable belief.
No, in the moment,
Because it
nothing.
was
That's what he
reasonable.
thought.
Yes,
Carmelo
and it was
believed in his
reasonable.
mind that okay, in this moment, I'm going to stab him now before he does anything else, even though he's actively not doing anything else. He just gave him a shove. In his mind, he believed he was going to stab him, and he actually went through with it.
Yes, that's reasonable, and that's according to
So
no duty to
basically,
retreat laws.
you think murder is reasonable.
Again, in order for it to be murder, you have to lawfully. You have to prove. that he
Well,
violated
obviously,
penal
the
code while on the act of
motherfucker
killing.
is in prison, so this shit was murder.
He's in
Obviously,
prison
he's in there
because
for
of
a
racial
reason.
inequality.
Has
But I have a
nothing to
question.
do
You can-
with
you can search it up.
racism
You
or-
can search it
that's
up.
what you
can search it
motherfuckers
up.
wanna believe.
You can search it up, but let
You
me
can
answer
all
answer
you fucking
for-
want.
for
You
the-
believe in murder.
for the 14th time.
You believe in murder.
For the 14th time, you're saying I support murder. So in order
Yeah, you do.
in order for it to be
And
murder,
your excuse for it is racism.
in order for it to be murder, they have to violate a penal code while in the action of killing, right? So search it up and tell me what penal code did he violate. Go ahead, search it up. But I'm not going to allow you to pivot. You need to answer the question.
No, you keep muting me. Let me talk.
Yeah, no, search it up. You're not going to pivot. This is the 15th time I've answered this.
You
I've asked the
you
question.
said that the witnesses there, they
I don't care about the
to be
witnesses.
honest,
I
didn't
care
matter
about the
because they
penal
weren't
code
the
he
majority
violated.
of people.
I care about the penal code he violated. Holy shit.
Yeah, holy shit. You keep saying holy shit. You got a habit of doing that.
Answer the question.
But so you believe that the witnesses weren't right. The people that was there.
Answer the question.
The people. So the witnesses weren't right. They weren't justified.
Answer the question.
The witnesses 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 weren't justified.
Answer the question.
So the witnesses weren't justified
Answer the question.
because they're not majority of people, is what you said. The witnesses, the people that was there weren't reasonable. That's what you're saying.
Answer the question.
The witnesses weren't justified.
Answer the question.
The witnesses weren't justified.
You're making the claim that I support murder, and that's a horrible.
You
claim
are.
to
You
make.
are. You absolutely are.
You have to back that claim. So
I
you
think it's a
agreed-
personal thing that you can't fight,
so
and you see somebody
you
else.
Agreed, you agreed that in order for it to be murder, it has
Look,
to
and then
be,
you mute
it has
me
to be
again. If you're
violating
just
a
gonna
penal
mute me,
code
why
while
don't
in
you
the
just
action
fucking
of
kick
killing.
me? Because you're not gonna listen to me.
You're saying I support murder.
You
and
do, you
obviously-
do. You do.
Prove it.
You do.
Prove
Because
that
it was
murder.
unlawful for him to stab an
Okay,
unarmed man.
what penal
That's
code
what
did
I
he
believe.
violate? What penal
It was
code?
unlawful for him to stab an
What penal
unarmed
code did
person.
he violate?
It was a push. He
penal
was
code did he
unarmed. He
violate?
didn't push him with a knife
What
like
penal code
Carmelo
did he
decided he
violate?
wanted to.
Yeah, what penal code did he violate?
What penis code you said? They violated?
What penal code did he violate?
I don't
Holy
give a
shit, you're
fuck
child.
about no penal codes. Look at the situation.
You don't know shit. Moving on to the next guest.
Oh,
How's it going? Do
hey,
you
what's
think
up?
Carmelo Anthony's guilty or innocent?
Yeah, I do think he's guilty.
Sure. Why?
Given that I heard you guys throwing around TikTok not friendly words, so I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, he unalived someone.
Is unaliving is killing inherently illegal?
Not in cases of self-defense.
So killing is not inherently illegal, right?
No, not in cases of self-defense.
Cool. So then why was this killing illegal?
It doesn't satisfy the criteria for self-defense.
What penal code are you referencing?
For this, section 19.02 of Texas Penal Code.
That isn't about self-defense.
Yeah, I know, because it wasn't a justified
I'm asking you,
self-defense.
you said it doesn't suffice self-defense criteria. I'm asking you what penal code are you referencing?
Oh, I'm not sure the
that you're
penal
saying
code
doesn't-
on that, but I can
so
logically
then how do you know
deduce
it
from the
doesn't-
fact
then how
that
do
he
you
was
know?
pushed after given multiple warnings to leave given property of a school.
Underground laws and no duty to retreat. Do you know what those are?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. So then you would know that the penal code that you're referencing when you're referring to self-defense that you think isn't there wasn't enough evidence that he actually met the criteria for this penal code, which you didn't know what it was. It's gonna be 9.31 and 9.32.
Yeah, well, given that you did pass the bar, right? So I assume you know what you're doing here.
No.
I saw it in the comments. You didn't. Oh, okay. So Texas Penal Code 30.05 states a person commits an offense if the person enters or remains on the property of another without effective consent, and the purpose had noticed that the entry was forbidden or received notice
He
to
was
depart
lawfully
but
allowed to
failed
be
to do
there.
so. No, he was not. Being that the case that the stadium was district property and the coaches legally charged the athletes to be in charge of these tents and was given 15 verbal warnings to leave before the
So he was not
events.
allowed. He was not allowed to be in that vicinity. No.
Yeah,
What's your source?
absolutely, he was
What's
not.
your source?
Texas Penal Code
No, what's your source that
37.107
he
with the
wasn't?
court documents.
What's your source that he wasn't? What's your source? Prove it. Prove he
Okay,
wasn't
again.
allowed to be there. Prove
So?
that he was not lawfully allowed to be there. What's your source?
Hey, don't spurg out here. Is it the case?
Nope, source.
Is it the case
Nope,
that those
source.
tents
Nope,
were
source.
property
Nope, source.
of the given team?
Nope. Source.
You just don't believe that?
Nope. Source. I don't care what you're saying. Source.
All right, give me 1 second.
Cool. Remember the claim that you made is that he was not legally allowed to be there. Whether this was determined by a judge, a jury, whoever was determined by, I need a source for that. If you're on YouTube, say what's up in the comment section. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. We're close to 500 subscribers over on YouTube. I appreciate you guys for being here.
It's going to drop me if I click on these. But
You can
first
just
off,
swipe out of the app, it won't drop you.
before we go on, so we do agree, though, that 37.107 does forbid people from entering into school property and then
That's
on
great. You made a
explicit
claim. I'd
instruction
like your
cannot go
source.
in there. No, I just want to know that we agree that that is the case.
We can agree after you provide the source.
So you don't agree that that's a real thing? An unauthorized
agreeing
person
or
trespasses
disagreeing.
on the grounds on any school
What's your
district
source?
of this
Listen,
state
you're not gonna
commits a
pivot.
crime.
I've talked
This
to
isn't
4
pivoting.
people
I
in
just
total.
need to
I've
know
yes,
that
it is
we live
pivoting.
in the
I've
same
talked to
reality.
4 people,
I just
and I've
need to
allowed-
understand that
I've
we
talked
live
to
in the
4
same
people. That's
reality
great. That's
with
great. I've
legality.
talked to 4 people, and every single one of them pivoted when I asked them any
No,
questions.
this isn't
or
pivot. I need
sources.
to understand that we
That's great.
live in the same reality.
That's right. What's your
Are
source?
you dodging this question? Are you dodging
Yes.
this?
What's your source?
Okay, so exactly 37.107. Do
That's
we
great. What's your
agree that a
source?
trespass on school grounds
That's
does
great.
not
What's your
elicit
source?
self-defense?
That's great. What's your source? I am dodging the question until you give me your source. Yes. Chat and you, I am dodging the question, and I will not allow this pivot until you give me a source. Because you made a claim that he was legally not allowed to be there. He was legally not allowed to be there. You made the claim. What is your source? Someone says, was a student trespass? A fellow student does not have the authority to trespass another student, regardless of whatever the coach says the student to do. The factors are shot and close. Blah, blah, blah. Over on YouTube, I feel like it's mostly split. There's people that think he's guilty and innocent. I'll do a poll over on YouTube. Over here on TikTok, I feel like it's mostly people who think he's guilty. Over on YouTube, the poll is open. Go vote in the poll. He muted him. It sounded like no, he's looking up the source.
Okay, you can check out WFMD's Carmelo Anthony witness testifies students repeatedly asked accused killer to leave the tent.
But that's legally where you have to prove that he was legally not allowed to be there. Like that's why there's stand your ground laws and no duty to retreat, right? Even if someone asks you to leave, just because a white person feels uncomfortable of a black person being there, doesn't mean that they have to leave. Doesn't mean it's unlawful for them to be there after they requested
so
to leave.
Texas
So
Education
prove-
Code. So again,
hold on,
I'll list
prove
this code again.
No, prove
Texas
that he's not
Education
legally allowed
Code
to be there.
37.107.
Prove he's legally
Texas
not allowed to be
Education
there.
Code 37.107.
You got to provide your source, man. You said he was legally not allowed to be there. What's
Texas
your source?
Education Code 37.107.
That's great. Provide your
Requirement to
source.
leave school-controlled property when ordered. Remaining in a
Ordered by who?
designated area after
Ordered by
receiving
who?
direct
Ordered by
command.
who?
So again, if
Ordered
you'll
by
just
who?
check that
Ordered by
WFMD, you'll
Ordered by
find
who?
that the coaches
I'll
gave
allow
the
the pivot.
athletes
Ordered by who?
explicit directions.
I will allow the pivot.
Are you
for
not
the
understanding?
fifth
Can you
person.
repeat to me what I
Ordered
just
by
said?
who? Ordered by who?
The other students, the athletes within
Where
the
does it say
tent.
that? What's your source? What's your source that other students? Once another student,
WFMD,
hold on,
dude,
hold on,
I
hold on,
listed
hold on.
the source
the
5
claim,
times.
So the claim that you're making is if another student asks you to leave and you don't leave, it then
If
becomes
given
unlawful if you're
explicit
staying there, right?
directions from the coach, yes.
No, from the student or the coach or the student. Which one?
The coach, dude, are you purposely doing this?
Which one? The coach or the student? You
Are
said
you
the student at
Tell
first,
me
not the coach.
exactly if the coach gives the student explicit direction, those students are in control and have the authority.
Sure, what's your
Texas
source?
Code
Title?
37.107. If you want to hear the source on the deliberation in court, you can go to the WFMB
Said
website.
37.107.
This has to be a joke.
Hold on. What did you
This
said?
has to be a joke.
37.107, right?
I said it 5 times. At this point, if you're not getting it, I don't know what your
Yeah,
problem
just repeat
is.
it. Quit crying.
This
Just
is
repeat
dude. Go have fun.
it. You're gonna run away because you know
Like,
that
you're
you're probably
spurting,
with
bro.
the penal code that you're probably referencing actually proves
An
you're wrong,
unauthorized
probably.
person who trespasses on the grounds of any school
Can
district
you
of this
just
state commits
repeat
an
what you said?
offense.
Because the claim that you made, if another student asks you, if a coach tells another student to ask another student to leave, it then becomes unlawful. What's your source? What's the title?
Dog. Texas Code, Education Code, 37.107.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. What's the is that okay? So you just want me to look that up?
Okay.
37.107.
Have fun. This is the
37.107.
worst debate I've ever seen in my life. Holy
It
shit.
says this is about contract labor standards. That's not right. You ran away. And then what's the evidence that the coach asked Austin Metcalf to ask Carmelo Anthony to leave? By the way, I need also a source for that. How's it going? Do you think Carmelo Anthony's guilty or innocent?
Hello.
Hello. Do you think Carmelo Anthony's guilty or innocent?
I will say guilty.
Why?
So, first we'll go over what I agree with. So, I do agree, obviously, that by law, technicality, whatever, that Carmelo Anthony did have the right to self-defense because a shove is technically assault, right? And I understand that he doesn't have, I forget what the exact wording is for it, but he's not required to retreat. But I got one question just for clarification because I'm not 100% sure. So I've heard, so he was shoved and then he ended up getting the multi-tool or cleat cleaner from his bag, right?
Yeah.
So the part that I would disagree with is, and I've been sitting here listening, so I comprehend your point, right? Of a shove can technically it could result in serious bodily harm, death, whatever. It is technically possible.
Sure.
It's not what happened, but it is possible to happen.
Yes.
However, for one, he got shoved and then he had to go over to his bag to retrieve a multi-tool, which he used as a weapon to stab Austin Metcalf. So it's not like he got shoved. You can say that was it's possible for that to result in serious bodily harm. And then after he got shoved, went and retrieved the weapon, came back and stabbed him. There's no point in that where anybody can reasonably believe that they are in danger of losing their life, and so that's excessive force.
So I understand the point that you're trying to make, but I could give you multiple different examples. For example, someone punches you or pushes you, and then you have to go to retrieve a weapon. In case of self-defense, that would still be justified because.
So, I can't get behind that. What's the? I'm not trying to make hypotheticals, right? But how long are you allowed to still believe that you're somehow in danger? If I got shoved, am I allowed to go back to my house, retrieve a weapon, come back and use it?
He didn't go back to his house.
No, I know he didn't. I understand that. I'm asking you, you're saying that he could still reasonably believe that he's in danger, which
So the
I
thing
disagree
is,
with.
so when Austin Metcalf said you don't have anything in your backpack, and then proceeded to push him, and then after that, Austin Metcalf went to his backpack, and not Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony went to his backpack, and then Austin Metcalf stood up and followed him, and then that's when Carmelo Anthony used self-defense with a knife. When he stood up, it says here, and pushed Anthony to get him out of the tent. End quote, according to one of the witnesses. And that's when he pulled out the black knife and then stabbed him once in the chest. And according to no duty to retreat laws, he's lawfully able to do that. And you said, am I allowed to leave? For example, if someone punches you, and then you go to your home, and then you go back to see if they're still there, and you shoot them. No, that's not reasonable. right? But
Right,
for example,
obviously.
if like you let me give I want to give an analogy close to yours so I don't change much of it. What would be analogous would be like if someone's attacking you, or like pushing you or punching you or something, and then you're able to like get a couple feet away, and then like let's say in a world like you see like a weapon, let's you see a random knife, it's not yours or whatever, you then grab it, and then they're coming closer to you, it would be then justified to use that knife, even though they already punched you, they already pushed you, right? Just because of the reasonable belief that they could continue to cause bodily harm or injury. Like for example, if Carmelo Anthony went inside the school and like grabbed a pew pew or a knife or whatever, and like Austin Metcalf wasn't posing a threat, wasn't following him, wasn't pushing him, then it wouldn't be self defense.
Sure. I can't get myself to get behind the fact that being shoved is like I can't remember exactly what I heard you say. I mean, it was like 2 or 3 people ago by this point, but and correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that majority of people would reasonably conclude that being pushed or shoved is like reasonable to use deadly force. So something along those lines. You can correct me if it's not.
I did make the claim. I said a majority of people. For the exact hypotheticals that I provided in reference to the reasonable belief of what the person has of what could happen, right? Because again, Penal Code number 9.32, it says use or attempted use of unlawful force, right?
Right.
And listen, you can agree with it, like you can not agree with it morally. I think it's like because moral for me, my definition of murder is the unjust termination of human life. You can believe it's unjustified. We're debating about whether or not legally it's unjustified. Legally, in accordance with stand your ground laws, and no duty to retreat 9.31 and 9.32, it is legal.
Right. And I've been separating
Right.
moral. I think I'm not going to bring up the moral thing. I think it's obviously morally wrong to stab somebody for pushing you. I'm trying to go into the legal aspect of it, right? And I'm not going to pretend I'm like a law genius or anything like that. I'm not. So I'm trying to get, because like you said, the key word is reasonable.
Because I had to do a lot of research.
For sure, right?
I took 3 days of like intense research on like laws on this.
Right, and you've been saying that the key word is reasonable, right? Reasonably believed.
What the law says is what the actor deems to be reasonable.
Right.
And another thing, it doesn't mention proportionality, right? So when you make when you're saying that like you can't imagine a push and then someone stabbing because of a push, what you're referencing is proportionality. The law doesn't mention proportionality. The law mentions a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree, whatever degree, the actor reasonably believes, right? It doesn't mention proportionality.
What do you mean by proportionality?
Like meaning a push equals like another push or something, or like if they have a gun or something, then that would be reasonable to like use deadly force, right? That's
Right.
That's proportionality, right? But the law doesn't mention that. The law doesn't reference or mention proportionality.
Let me ask you, just because I've heard a few of these debates from other people and it gets brought up a lot. Do you think that the Austin Metcalf being of significantly larger size than Carmelo Anthony matters in this?
I think it could play a role, yes.
But you still think so? Like, let's just use the example. Say that they were the exact, like, say that Austin Metcalf was the same height and weight. You still think that it would be justified?
Yeah.
Okay, so
justified
that
legal,
point doesn't
like
really
legally
matter.
or morally. Like legally, it would be justified.
Well, we're talking about legally, right?
Yeah,
So-
legally, it would be justified.
Okay, so the size doesn't matter.
No duty to retreat laws. It doesn't take
Okay.
account for like weight or height. It doesn't take into account. I'm just saying like, it does in my eyes. It does play a role. Like the difference in height and weight does play a role, but legally it doesn't.
Sure. So legally, and again, I'm sorry to keep bringing up hypotheticals, but if it would have been a little girl that pushed him, is that still legally justified? Because that could technically result. You know what I'm saying? I'm genuinely asking. I'm not trying to like catch you. I'm asking you if that would still be legally justified.
Sure. It's a great question. The little girl pushed him. Would that be legally justified? I would say I would probably say no. I would say no. Yeah, I don't know.
But
Why I
what,
thought
but
about
what
that.
if he said the same thing? He so now because of her, I thought you said the size. Again, I'm not trying to
It's
catch
about
you.
it's
But-
about the
but you said-
reasonable belief.
But the size didn't. You said the size didn't really matter.
Yeah,
legally.
it doesn't matter, but it's about the reasonable belief.
So,
Same with like
so the
wait,
size doesn't matter, but
no, it's about the reasonable
s-
belief.
so he was only able to reasonably believe
I don't think it's
that
reasonable
that,
for
that deadly force was.
I don't think
was
it's
necessary.
reasonable. I don't think it's reasonable for someone to believe that they would be cause like bodily harm or injury if a little girl or boy pushed them. I don't think that's reasonable, but I think it would be reasonable.
Right,
if
of course.
it-
But so let's just recap.
Sure.
I said, does it really matter that he was of relatively significantly larger size than him? And he said, no, it doesn't really matter. And I said, so if he was the same size of him, obviously it would still be justified legally. Again, we're not
Because of
talking
the
about morals.
reason, because of the reason.
Exactly right, because a push can technically result in bodily harm. So if a little girl pushed him, it's possible for him to fall and crack his skull. So I got a little sister. We play fight all the time, and she's giving me a pretty big push, and I got caught off guard, and I've fallen over before. That technically could have resulted in seriously bodily harm. But now you said it wouldn't have been reasonable to believe if a little girl had pushed him,
Yeah, it wouldn't have been.
even though it
reasonable-
still could technically result in bodily harm, which is why you said it is
could, but
justifiable.
wait, it could. The
Right.
same way as like unicorns can come like flying out of your asshole in like 5 minutes from now. Is it reasonable? No. It could happen, but it's not reasonable.
Exactly. Okay.
It's just like a gotcha. It's still reasonable under the situation.
Again, I
A,
wasn't
because
even
of the
going for a
situation.
gotcha. I'm kind of just talking.
It will
talking about
A
my
because
own-
of
own
the
head.
situation, and B because of surrounding circumstantial not evidence, but what Carmelo Anthony believed.
What do you mean by the surrounding circumstantial?
Like for example, racism plays a role into this.
Because he was, like, you're saying, like, because he was surrounded by a bunch of white people? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying.
are you talking about the
that
court?
that he's a person of color, and if you take a look at the statistics, white people don't get held accountable for their crimes to the extent that black people do. Black people are exonerated more
Yeah.
than any other race.
But believe it or not, I don't even disagree with that. But I'm trying to stick to, like, this, what we're talking about, this specific case, right?
Right. And I
Um,
think it's reasonable for someone to believe that, right?
right.
How is
So-
it unreasonable? Can you tell me how it's unreasonable?
What's unreasonable?
Or
Just
the
something
fact
that we're
that he
talking
used
about.
deadly force.
Because he got pushed, bro. And we went over how the size of the person doesn't matter, right? Because legally, we're just talking about how the action, because
Pushed, but that doesn't tell me how it's unreasonable.
right. So we'll go back over.
Because
it.
if you're saying it's unreasonable just because they got pushed, like in instances
Right.
of self-defense where this does happen, and I can give you many instances, then you would say that wouldn't be self-defense; it would be murder.
I mean, so so again, I don't know the full penal code, but I remember it's essentially along the lines of like any form of, I don't know if it specifically says assault, but like any form of assault, because like technically slapping is assault, spitting is assault, right? Any form of assault that you can reasonably deduct result you
unlawful
in-
force.
unlawful force. Is that not the same as assault, or is that not similar?
Sure, it can be similar. Sure.
Right. So any form of, I'll use your exact definition, any form of unlawful force, which shoving, I mean, basically what I'm getting at is I understand what you're saying about it. The shove it doesn't matter that it was just a shove, right? Because that falls into the category of unlawful force. It could have been a shove, spit, slap, punch in the face, doesn't matter. That all falls into unlawful force. So unlawful force was committed, right, by Austin Metcalf. 100% agree. Gibbs Carmelo Anthony the right to self-defense, and
Not only that, just like no duty to retreat. He was asked to leave. He doesn't have to.
right. No, yeah, I don't think he had. I don't think what
Just
they were
'cause a
saying
white
earlier.
person just because a white person feels uncomfortable that a black person is near them. That's why they have standards.
I agree with you that legally he was not required to leave the tent. That's because that's where we go into like what you're saying about like we're just trying to talk about legally, the matter of opinion. I totally agree that there's so many better ways this could have gone. Austin Metcalf could have seen him and been like, I don't know this guy, it's kind of weird he's here, but whatever, who the fuck really cares? Carmelo Anthony could have just decided to leave. That part doesn't really matter because we're just looking at what actually did happen. I agree that he did not lawfully need to retreat. I understand that. We're looking at he was pushed, which falls into unlawful force. Does he have? Should he He can't articulate how you can reasonably believe that push would result in deadly force. And to go back what we were talking about, where
Then
you
you're
said that
just
the
saying
size.
proportionality. You're going back to proportionality, and we agreed Penal Code 9.31 doesn't talk about proportionality.
And we also-
it says when and to the degree. So whatever degree the actor deems
Right.
to be reasonable. So it doesn't
But
talk
so
about proportionality.
also
So
go
like I've
back
seen
to
comment section saying a push does not equal a stab. Cool, that's proportionality.
sure. But
I think people get confused between legally and morally. Cause sure, I think that like a push doesn't equal a stab morally. Sure, I think that there's better ways that Carmelo Anthony could have gone about this. That's my personal opinion. Some might agree with me, or some might disagree with me. But I think legally, the law backs him.
right. Well, I think we're pretty much at a standstill here, unless you're trying to get something out of me. I'm not trying to like. I mean, it's
No,
not that.
I'm just having. I feel like you're the most productive conversation I've had.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. This is a TikTok live, so it's not that deep to me. I'm about to head out. If you want to say I conceded, that's cool.
I mean,
I'm really
no,
really
I'm not gonna
worried
say
about
you
it.
can see. I appreciate the conversation. I feel like I didn't really scream at you because you didn't really interrupt me. I hope I didn't interrupt you as much. It was a decent conversation. We both got our points out. I understood your points in terms of the size, and that's something that I'm gonna think about, right? And that's something that I'll take into account and do more research on. So I appreciate for you bringing up that point. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nah, that's all I got.
Awesome. I appreciate you coming up here. What do we do? Do we do another one? Okay, I'm gonna get off now. I just wanted to debate this just to see what people think and see people's points and get my points across. I still have a lot of research to do, so I'll acknowledge the point. I don't think we got enough info on this yet. Yeah. So I appreciate the dialogue that I had with people. I appreciate you guys for pulling through. It is hot, not guilty. Real. I will be back later for some Trump debates. I'm sweating because of how hot it is. He was found guilty, so legally he is guilty. A lot of people found guilty. By the way, I should point this out there. The reason you're saying he was found guilty, therefore he is guilty. Black people are the most exonerated, by the way. Just want to point that out there. What H-Stone out here? Hello, how's it going? Is Carmelo Anthony innocent or guilty?
He is guilty. The jury has spoken. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, why is he guilty?
So, I can give you a multitude of reasons, but the jury denied self-defense. They denied the lesser charge. The disparity of force instruction was given. Even the multiple assailants instruction was given, and they denied that as well. So based on the facts coming out from the trial on media reporting, right, because we don't have the transcripts, the jury saw what they saw and won. Yeah.
Sure, all this just proves is racial inequality within the American system.
So how is it racial when we had a whole trial, though?
Because black people are more proportionally to be arrested for a crime they didn't commit compared to black people, and they account for most of the exonerations.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about that, I mean, I live in Baltimore and I work in the school systems here and within the police department. So I can give you actual stats of who commits the most crimes.
Talking about
Black on black crime is,
national level.
yeah, well, black on black crime is prevalent over any other crime. I mean, we have 300 homicides here a year, and 90% of victim and aggressor are both black. So I'm not going to hear it.
Source?
I mean, Fox News, Baltimore News. I mean, you can look anything up. I'm happy to provide it.
What's the title?
Okay. Well, I mean, stand by. I didn't think we were pulling up receipts, but I'm happy to do that. If you give me a second.
I'm not saying you're lying, right? I'm not saying you're lying. I just don't know anything about Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, everybody's like, oh, well,
That's
certain.
inequality within our system.
It's not because they actually committed the crimes, though.
No, exonerations mean they didn't commit the crime.
I mean, you know that, you can't racially profile. Police can't, yank people up off the street.
can.
But they can't. They're not
do.
supposed to. Well, they
do.
shouldn't. They shouldn't.
By the way, a Veil of Darkness Stanford study showed like 92 million people were in this study across 32 different municipals. And guess what? Whenever during the day, the police officer could see a person's skin color, black people got pulled over to a greater extent. At night, it was white people, not black people, when police officers couldn't see the color of their skin. And this was all across the United States, 92 million people in 32 different municipals.
So I can meet you in the middle in terms of, in those particular situations, I believe those individuals should fight for justice if their constitutional rights were not handled correctly. I agree with everyone should be treated fairly. Well, with all due respect, host, I mean, this was at a track meet and both sides have said it has nothing to do with race. So in terms of, in my opinion, and based on the information coming out, it was never about race, sir. So why are we making it about race?
Jury.
Yeah, I mean,
Question: George Floyd, was he murdered by a police officer?
I mean, there were contributing factors to his unaliving, sure, but the officer had a part in it, sure.
So the officer is the one who murdered him, right?
And he's in jail. He's in jail
But it was
where he
murder,
belongs. He's in jail where he belongs,
Was
sir.
it murder? Yes or no?
I don't think the charge was murder. I can look it up to find the exact charge, but
Okay, sure. You said it wasn't about race. Well, no, we're talking about the racial inequality within the American system. That's what I'm referencing. So it is about race, right? I'm assuming you're white, right?
I am. I'm very
You
white.
can say
yes.
things aren't about race because you're white. It doesn't affect.
No, I think some things are about race. I'm not denying that it's not here and around us, but in this particular situation, with all due respect, I don't believe it has anything to do with race. I think it has
No,
to
it
do
does.
with. Can you just tell me how, though?
Because that was a black kid, and a white kid, right? And this black kid felt reasonable belief that his life was in danger, reasonable bodily harm or injury, because of the color of his skin, based on the statistics, based on what the data shows us. Right? And this happens. White people aren't held accountable for their crimes compared to black people. This happens.
So why didn't he take the stand and testify for himself if he was so right?
That has that has nothing to do with what the question.
Self-defense cases. Self-defense cases, you have to defend yourself, sir. Who can articulate Carmelo's said fear better than Carmelo?
Right.
And he needed to pull a Rittenhouse, and he wasn't able to do that because he knew he was wrong, sir.
No, legally he wasn't wrong. So you think it was murder? You think so? You think this killing was unlawful? Yes.
100% and he would have gotten life here if that conviction.
Let me ask you a question: Is killing inherently unlawful?
Depends on the circumstances. If it's self-defense, it's different.
So no, it's not. Killing is not inherently unlawful.
Murder is unlawful. Yes.
We're talking about killing. Killing is not inherently unlawful.
Depending upon the situation, sir. I know you're trying to mind F this, but in this particular situation,
Fine,
a
no,
kid took a knife to attract
I'm
me.
not talking about Carmelo Anthony. I'm talking in
Oh,
general.
that's your prompt though. So I just didn't know.
Is killing unlawful? Yes. Inherently unlawful? Yes or no?
Depends upon the situation. Yes. Killings are usually not lawful. No.
So killing is not inherently unlawful.
Yeah. What about the officers that unalived Tyree Nichols and were acquitted, sir? Do you want to talk about them?
That's great.
By an
Can you
all-white
answer the
jury?
question?
By an
Yeah,
all-white
can you
jury,
answer-
sir?
That's great. Can you
Yeah,
answer
an
the question?
all-white jury acquitted 3 black officers for the unaliving of Tyree Nichols, which was far worse than what happened to George Floyd. I'll wait.
That's great. Can you answer the question?
Again, an all-white jury acquitted 3 black police officers, sir. Can you explain that?
That's great. Can you answer the question?
Because you know what your argument falls short right now because I'm giving you a
The
parallel.
argument is not an argument. I'm simply asking you a
Oh.
question.
I already answered it. I said most killings are unlawful, yes, but depends upon the
Killing-
situation.
So most doesn't mean all. Therefore, your answer is no. Killing is not inherently unlawful.
If somebody breaks into my house and tries to unalive me and I kill them, then there's that. So
So killing is not inherently unlawful. Thank you.
depends. It's case by case, sir, with all due respect.
That's why killing is not inherently unlawful. because
Again,
it's
sir,
case
so
by
what are we
case.
doing here? Is it Carmelo? Can we talk about the
You're the
Tyree
one
Nichols?
making it. You're the one making it difficult.
I'm not making it difficult at all. You just don't like my answer, sir.
Your answer is no. Killing is not inherently unlawful.
I gave you an example of if somebody breaks into my house and tries to unalive me and I kill them, then that's what I needed to do to protect myself.
Precisely why killing is not inherently unlawful. You're proving my point.
We can
So
agree
you
to
agree.
disagree.
You agree. Killing is not inherently unlawful. Yes.
We can agree to disagree. Can we talk about Carmelo killing
So
a
you
student
think
athlete?
killing is inherently unlawful?
No, I'm telling you it's a case by case basis, sir.
The fact that it's a case by case basis means that
Correct.
it's not inherently unlawful. Yes.
If that's what you want to say, but
I'm
that's
asking
not
for
what
your
I'm
opinion.
That's not what I'm saying, sir. I'm saying it's a case by case basis, and
I
I
have
gave.
all day, and I will continue to ask until you answer
I
the
can
question.
sit up here all day too. That's
Is
fine.
killing inherently unlawful? So yes or no?
Sure. How about I'm going to concede with you because there's many
So
other
killing
things.
is inherently unlawful.
Actually, it's not. I'm not going to concede actually because it's not.
Okay,
It's
so
not.
killing is not inherently
No.
unlawful.
Case by case, sir.
So yes or no? Is killing inherently unlawful?
No.
Okay, cool, perfect. Killing is not inherently unlawful.
Great.
That's
Thank you.
correct.
So can we talk
Cool.
about Carmelo?
Yes,
or
perfect.
Tyree
So
Nichols?
in order for it to be murder, they have to violate a penal code while in the action of killing. So my question to you is, what is the penal code that Carmelo Anthony violated?
Stand by. I can pull up the entire indictment for you with all the things if you'd like.
I just need the penal code that he violated.
So again, it was murder, sir. He was
In
charged
order for it
with
to be murder, he has to violate a penal code while in the action of killing. So tell me the penal code that he violated.
Stand by. I'm going to pull it all up for you.
I just need the penal code.
Sorry about that. So that would be 1902, sir.
What's
A person commits murder if they intentionally or knowingly cause the death. I'm sorry. I don't want to get your live in trouble. Do I need to censor? Okay. A person commits murder if they intentionally or knowingly cause the death of an individual, which is what Carmelo did, sir. So he was tried as an adult. The jury
So self-defense
rejected.
is murder. So self-defense.
So the
is
jury
murder.
actually rejected that claim.
So
They were-
self-defense is legally murder then. Holy shit!
Sir,
it's a fumble.
the
What a fumble.
jury-
Hold on. You gave me your source now because I have it pulled up. I knew what you were gonna say. So you said intentionally or knowingly causes the death of an individual. If someone breaks into my home
Mhm.
and they come into my home with a weapon and I grab my weapon and I shoot them, I intentionally and knowingly cause the death of an individual. So under your view, that would be murder, not self-defense. So no, you don't want to talk about this section. You want to refer to another section. The point is, none of these sections apply because it's not murder. He didn't violate a penal code. Because if he violated this section of this penal code 19.02, then you think self-defense is murder.
We can talk about every penal code that you would like, sir, but I need to remind you that Castle Doctrine is different than where this took place. So your anecdotal, your parallel doesn't apply, sir, with all due respect. Location matters here. The Castle Doctrine does not apply when you're out of school, sir.
We're talking about what the
So again, it
Texas
doesn't
Penal Code
apply.
19.02.
Sir,
You said
If
intentionally or
somebody comes
knowingly.
into my house to hurt me, that is handled under the Castle Doctrine based on the incident that happens, right?
Okay,
If
so
I'm
let's
at a
just
school-
let's just change the hypothetical into a school, right? Let's say a school shooter comes into a school,
Mhm.
and then I intentionally kill that person, unknowingly and intentionally kill that person. That would be murder under your view,
Correct.
not
Yeah, that's
self-defense.
a school shooter that goes into a school and kills people is
I kill the school shooter, knowingly and intentionally.
Oh, you
Me
were
killing
taking
the
down
school
a threat.
shooter. No,
Yeah.
no, that would be murder under your
No,
view.
no. Right. It wouldn't be murder. That's
It would be.
that's you're
No, it would be murder
defending
because
people.
you said according to 19.02 he violated the penal code, which is going to be murder, by intentionally or knowingly cause the death of an individual. So in this scenario where there's a school shooter in the school and I intentionally and knowingly cause the death of the school shooter, that's a murder.
Well, let me put it to you like this. So if
Nah, you can't run away from that. You got to address what I'm saying.
I'm not running away from anything, that's for sure. So if a school shooter comes in and is killing a bunch of people and I kill them, I'm not going to get in trouble for doing that, sir, because I took a threat down.
So then this doesn't. So then what do you mean when it says?
That's why I said it's
you
a case
quoted
by case.
you quoted intentionally or knowingly cause the death of an individual.
Correct. So if I killed you for being
You
a
said
school
that's
shooter,
murder. Legally, that's defined as murder. That's what you
I'm
said.
not gonna catch a 1902 charge if I kill you as a school shooter. That's my point.
So then why are you quoting this when I ask you what penal code did he violate?
Because that's what Carmelo violated. He killed another intently and knowingly killed another person, and that's why he's sitting
you
in
would
jail.
also
Right?
intentionally and knowingly kill the school shooter.
Absolutely,
Therefore, you would have
100%.
violated 19.02.
Nope, self-defense is different, and the jury rejected
What he
Carmelo.
did was the reason that why they rejected self-defense was because of racial inequality within the system.
If you
That's
think that he did this and he's only in trouble for racial reasons,
Yes,
then
because it was self-defense. The
How?
same way as if you attack
How?
the school shooter and kill them.
so
Penal code number 9.31.
are you kidding me? A school shooter.
Except as provided in subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful force. The actor's belief that the force was immediately necessary, as described by the subsection, is presumed to be reasonable if the actor knew or had reason to believe that the person against whom the force was used unlawfully and with force entered or was attempting to enter unlawfully with force the actor's occupied habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment unlawfully and with force removed, or was attempting to remove unlawfully with force the actor from the actor's habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment, or was committing or attempting to commit aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, robbery, or aggravated robbery, did not provoke the person against whom the force was used, and was not otherwise engaged in criminal activity other than Class C misdemeanor, that is violation of the law or ordinance regulating traffic at the time of the force was used. The use of force against the other is not justified, and then it continues to say justified. So according to Penal Code 9.31, it was self-defense.
So reading law and comprehension of said law are two very different things, sir. So just
Clearly
because
you don't comprehend. I
So
think
if you're
comprehend.
comparing a school shooter to Carmelo Anthony, I vehemently disagree, and I suggest that you reread everything that you just read and apply the two different circumstances, sir.
So you clearly don't have comprehension of law, and you probably don't have enough brain cells to understand the analogy. The analogy wasn't to compare Carmelo Anthony and the school shooter. What I was attacking is what you said. You said legally it is classified as murder if, and I quote, where is it? If, and I quote, intentionally or unknowingly causes the death of an individual. You said that's legally murder. That's what I was attacking. I wasn't comparing Carmelo Anthony.
It's not unknowingly, it's knowingly, sir.
I said intentionally and knowingly.
No, you said unknowingly.
I said
So
knowingly.
my point is,
If I said unknowingly, holy shit, that's the only thing you're gonna attack. Wow.
if
Crazy world.
I can break this whole entire argument down because you're literally reading and you're not comprehending, sir, with all due respect.
Projection.
So it's not projection, sir. So if I'm a principal at a school and a school shooter comes in and he kills 10 people and I get to him and I kill him, I'm not going to get a 1902 charge is my point.
Under
But
what you quoted, it would be, because it's intentional and
Sir.
knowingly causing
Sir.
the death of an individual.
sir,
Unless you
you
want to take that back, you can concede.
I'm not taking anything back, but a
So then
school
that would be
shooter,
murder.
sir, if I'm in a school and a school shooter comes in and kills people and then I kill him protecting the school, I'm not catching a murder charge. What part of that are you not
What
understanding,
you
sir?
quoted legally murder is the intentionally or knowingly causing the death of an individual. In that instance, you would be intentionally and knowingly causing the death of an individual. Holy shit.
You're allowed
Unless
to,
you
sir, you're allowed to
else,
defend
okay.
others. You're allowed to defend others, and that's what
Carmelo Anthony was allowed to defend himself.
Who was he? He should
Who
have
was he
lawfully
defending himself
done it.
against? Austin Metcalf.
He should have
the
used his
aggressor.
fist. He should have used his fist.
Oh no!
but
Now
he-
you're talking about proportionality. Where in Penal Code number 9.31 does it reference
There's no
proportionality?
proportionality. It's win into the degree, sir. You're not. You're not going to.
Precisely.
You're not
So
going
then
to win.
proportionality doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
I
when you're
never
saying
said.
he should have used his fist, doesn't matter. Proportionality doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he used his fist or a
But
knife.
guess
It was
what?
justified.
But guess what? Because he didn't, and he wanted to be a big tough guy. That's why he's sitting in jail for 35 years, where
There's
he
racial
belongs.
inequality within the system. You're going back
It's
to that. You're
racial
saying,
equality?
you're saying because he didn't do this, he's now sitting in jail. Now it's because of racial inequality. Holy shit!
He's sitting in jail for 35 years, sir, because he was convicted from a jury of his peers of murder. Rightfully so, sir. They rejected every lesser claim.
Didn't tell me what penal code did he violate, and if he violated penal code number 9.02,
It's
section
1902,
1, then,
sir.
yeah, precisely.
1902,
Let me finish.
sir.
So if you violated 1902 section 1, then you think that intentionally killing that school shooter would be murder,
But I'm justified in doing that because I'm protecting others, sir.
and he's justified in doing it because he's protecting himself.
The jury rejected that and denied the
Because of
claim of
racial bias.
self-defense. It's not racial bias. It's because he didn't meet the elements of self-defense, sir.
No, he did per penal code number 9.31. He did.
No, he's already at 9.32. He crossed 9.31 and he's already at
9.31 and 9.32. 9.32
You don't get
says
to
that you have to be
9.32.
9.32 says that you have to meet the criteria of 9.31.
Correct. You don't get to 9.32 until you already cross and clear 9.31, sir. So
He's justified
again,
in both 9.31 and 9.32.
sir, that's your
The
opinion.
reason why the jury didn't determine that is because of racial inequality within the system. That's like saying, like, are you a Trump supporter?
What does that matter?
Just yes or no?
I am. Why?
Okay, so then you think Donald Trump is
now
a
it's
sexual
Trump.
abuser.
It's all the black people's fault, and it's Trump's fault. Got
then
it.
you think Donald Trump so you support a sexual abuser, right?
I support Donald Trump in a few areas.
He's a
I
sexual
sure do.
abuser. He's a sexual abuser. You support a sexual abuser.
He was held civilly liable, sir. Good try.
But he's a sexual abuser.
Civilly.
A jury determined him to be guilty of sexual abuse. Yes.
Civilly liable, sir. Yes.
He was still okay. So you do support a sexual abuser.
He was financially held liable.
No, he was liable, civilly liable of sexual abuse.
I believe this is laughable to me that we've gone from Carmelo Anthony.
It is laughable that you support a sexual abuser. Holy shit.
Well, it's laughable that I'm assuming you support, Kamala, right?
I don't,
Who
no.
supports men and women's bathrooms, right? Who else would
Oh,
you
men and
support?
women's bathrooms, sure. I don't support men and women's bathrooms. Neither does Harris. Trans women are women. Trans men are men.
So what's happening right now is you're attacking me now on political reasons because you're losing the debate on Carmelo Anthony because you have zero comprehension of Texas law, and I walked you how Carmelo. How's that projection?
Projection. Notice how you're the only
You
one
can't
saying that
debate
you won
me.
and I lost. Notice how you're the only one
Well,
saying
how
that
did
you
we
won
end
and I
up with
lost.
Trump
The
when
person
we
who
did-
won, the person who wins doesn't have to say that they're winning, by the way.
But your prompt is about Carmelo, and I was giving you some facts about that, and you knew you were losing, so you had to pivot to Trump
Not facts.
and racial inequality.
No, I didn't. I
can
wanted to
tell me,
pivot.
Alexander, the
I wanted to pivot to Trump just to make fun of you.
Yeah,
for
because you already
supporting a
lost.
sexual abuser.
No, you pivoted to Trump because you
to make
think
fun of you. That's why.
you can make fun of me all day long. I
Yeah,
couldn't
because
care less.
you support a sexual abuser.
This proves my point even more. You're arguing with me about our current sitting president because you lost a debate on Carmelo Anthony, sir. You picked the
No,
wrong
it's
one
because,
today.
Because I don't like. I
You
like
picked the
making
wrong
fun of
one.
people.
So let's go back to Carmelo. So again, Carmelo
We're
was.
going in circles because you don't understand Texas.
I mean, it's your prompt, sir, not mine. It's your prompt. I've been debating this case for 14 months. So again, I strongly
14
suggest
months. Wow.
reading penal codes are not
Don't know
understanding.
much about this law. I suggest you research another case if you've been researching this
Right,
15 months.
because Carmelo's in jail because he's black. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying,
Yeah.
which is wild work. Do you know the
You
first?
making it wild doesn't mean it's true.
Do you
have
know
to
the
prove
first
it.
witness for the defense was Carmelo's track coach, and he said Carmelo wasn't supposed to be under the tent, sir.
You have to prove that it's wild.
His own track coach said that.
You have to
On
prove that
the
it's wild.
the defense witnesses were testifying basically for the prosecution, sir. That is magical. That's magical.
Right.
And that's when Toby Shook was like, "Oh shit,
Wow.
we have a problem here. We have a problem here. Abort mission. We're gonna shut down right now." And that's what they did. They shut down because they knew they didn't have a case, sir. So again,
You're
Tell
just
me.
yapping now. You're literally just talking to talk.
Okay, no, you don't understand, sir. I'm happy to slow down and break it down
Really
for
didn't
you.
understand 19.02 because you said legally murder is classified
Yeah.
in reference to section 1, which is intentionally or knowingly causing the death of an individual. And then you said that you intentionally or knowingly causing the death of the
So
school shooter.
too bad the law says I can defend others when a bad
Too bad
person
the
is
law says Carmelo Anthony can defend himself.
Yeah, but too bad everybody else around him in the jury said
'Cause he's
that
black.
he could. Well, you know what? That's
Well,
your
you
belief.
know what? You're a racist white girl.
That's fine. You can call, and here we go again. You're pivoting to personal insults because you already lost the debate on Carmelo. This is magical. I'm so glad we
How
have
did I lose the
rewatched.
debate?
Because you're personally attacking me and attacking our sitting
Attacking you for
president.
fun. That's why.
Yeah,
Because I
and you
lost.
think you're funny. There's
And I'm
29
attacking the rapist.
people
Yes,
in here.
I support attacking
There's
sexual abuse.
29 people in here. This is laughable,
20 on
sir.
YouTube too. 49.
If
in
you
total.
think you reading a penal code makes you somehow knowledgeable on the Carmelo Anthony case when I just dog walked you in the entire case,
One
sir?
point did you dog walk me on?
Sir, the entire case. You don't even know what you're
point.
talking about. You don't know the elements of self-defense. You don't know what
One
provoking
point.
the difficulty means. And
One
you don't
point.
know that there's no racial disparities in terms of selecting a jury, sir. And I could go
One
on.
Name one point you cooked me on.
I just told you, sir. Carmelo Anthony's sitting in jail because he was charged with 1902. He was indicted. He was convicted by a jury of his peers, and he is exactly where he belongs, sir.
No, he doesn't belong in jail. That was self-defense. And the
Why?
reason he's sitting in jail is because
Self-defense
he's black. Yes.
because
In
he's
reference
black.
to Penal Code number 9.31 and 9.32.
Yeah, those are
You can make
self-defense.
like you say you're cooking me, but you're saying the same thing over again. Like you're saying, "Oh my God, he's
The-
sitting in jail."
do you
That's
know
what he
the
deserves,
judge
blah, blah,
gave
blah.
those jurors-
I'm white and I hate black people.
And there you go again. That's like the 5th personal attack. Do you feel better saying that about me?
Yes, I
Like,
do.
you can personally attack me all you want. I couldn't care less. It just says much more about you, sir, than it does me.
That's great.
So you can say whatever you want. You can say I
know I
voted for
can, yeah.
Trump and I'm a bad person because I voted for Trump,
You
but
are,
none of
yes.
that matters.
Yes, you are a bad person.
Just
because you voted
say
for Trump.
L's in the chat for the host, guys. L's in the chat. W's for Amanda. And I think it's wild
shit,
that
grifter.
you lose it. I'm not a grifter at all. It's crazy work.
You're
that
literally
you,
grifting for attention. You literally
you
said
lose the
L's for the
debate.
host and W for Amanda.
You lose the debate and you pivot to Donald
And you lose the
Trump
debate
and
and
then
then you go to
attack
grifting.
me. You attack me
you
and
lose the debate
pivot
and then
to
you go to
Donald
grifting.
Trump.
W's for
wild.
Amanda, quite frankly. Actually,
wild
I lost
work,
the debate.
sir.
Now I want to seek attention. I'm
I have
a
a
white girl who hates
suggestion.
black people, and now I want attention. Please show me.
And now
This is
now you're
Amanda.
muted.
Show me love. I'm Amanda. Show me love. W Amanda in the
and
chat.
now he's muting me, chat, because he doesn't want me to
You're
speak in
interrupting me.
chat. This is
Yeah, I'm a
wild.
dictator. This is dictatorship. I don't allow Amandas to speak. Racist Amandas, I don't allow them to speak.
Okay, then why am I here then? I mean, I'm happy. I could sit here all night and debate you. You don't ruffle my feathers. I think you're laughable, to
I
be
don't
honest.
want to ruffle your feathers.
You resort to personal insults because you
Resort,
lost a
not
debate.
resort.
You resort to personal insults because you lost a
Right.
debate, sir. So why
And
can't you just
resort to
admit it?
grifting because you lost the debate?
Grifting? What am I grifting?
You literally said, "Give me attention, please. I want attention. I'm a racist
No,
white
it
girl.
means
Give me
I
attention."
won and you lost. That's what
The
I'm
winner
saying.
definitely has to pronounce that they won. Oof. If you have to tell people that you won, did you really win? People should know that you won. Oof.
They know that's for sure. And you have more people in here because I'm here now. So there's that. You had
I
19
had 70 people before I had you, and guess what? They all left because you're on here because you're kind of boring and kind of stupid and a racist white girl. And most people.
So
don't
how
like
many
racist
women do you bully and beat, sir, on a daily basis?
I only bully people who support Trump, a rapist. and
Only
people
white
who are
women that
racist.
look like me because I'm white?
You're inherently racist. Yes.
Okay, why? How am I racist? Because I agreed with the jury?
No. This has nothing to do with Carmelo
Oh,
Anthony.
so what makes me
But
racist?
you are
though?
racist because you think Carmelo Anthony's guilty. Yeah.
So because I think Carmelo Anthony's guilty, I'm racist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because I support Donald Trump, what does that
You
make me?
support a sexual abuser. You're racist. You hate
Okay.
women. You hate minorities. You hate trans
Okay.
people. You hate women. You hate gay people. You hate.
Oh, wow.
Who else do you hate? You hate everyone. You hate
So-
immigrants.
What proof of this
You
do you
love
have?
murder.
Sir? What proof of this do you have, sir? You don't even.
Your support for Trump.
Yeah, I'd vote for him again if he ran. What's your point?
That's my point.
Again, what's your point, sir? So
you
again,
just said is my
so let's recap real quick. So I came up
Let's
to debate
recap.
about
You
Carmelo,
said you would support Donald Trump violating.
and I dog walked you in the Carmelo debate. So you pivoted to Trump, and now you're personally attacking me. Does everybody hear? So again, I'm here to debate you on.
Cry? Like, I'm sorry I personally attacked you. Sorry, not sorry. Cry.
Oh,
I'm not
I
nice
don't
to.
care.
I'm not nice to racists. I will attack racists. Like
I'm going to
verbally, I
pray
will.
for you. I'm going to pray for you because you feel like you
Yeah,
have
buddy,
to.
he's
you
not
have
real.
to-
He's
you
not
have
real.
to-
Prove he's
You have
real.
to
Prove he's
demean
real.
women. You have to
Prove he's
demean
real.
women.
Prove he's
Because
real.
you
Prove
got
it.
embarrassed, you had to
Prove he's real.
resort to personal attacks. Like that's
Prove he's
terrible
real.
for you.
Prove he's real.
I'm not proving anyone's real. I'm telling you that I'm going to pray for you that
can.
you get better because you're a very miserable,
gonna pray
sad,
to?
and lonely little boy. Is what
Wait,
you
who
are.
are you? Who are you gonna pray to?
You hate white women. You're a very sad and lonely little boy. Is what you are.
Do you think that the white race is gonna die off if we don't control migration?
What?
Do you think the white race is gonna die off if we don't control migration?
I mean, I don't even know what you're. I mean, I don't even know what you're. What? I don't even know what you're talking about, sir. This is a conversation about Carmelo Anthony, and you've spun it into politics because you got your feelings hurt by a white woman
This
that
is
you
about
hate.
politics.
No, it's not, and that's the problem here. That's where the disconnect is, sir.
Literally,
The
it is about
disconnect
politics.
is wild. So I suggest you go back and read the Texas Penal Code, sir, and then
I'd
perhaps.
suggest you do another 14 months in researching this case because you know nothing about it.
And
Maybe
that's your
28
opinion.
months would do for you. Maybe 28. Maybe 32. I'd probably give you like another 32. You know what? Do
That's-
5 years on this case. Maybe you'd be able to understand with the 2 brain cells you have.
And that's your opinion, but it's very sad. Like most men can say when they're wrong, and you got your feelings hurt, you got embarrassed by a white girl
I'm
that
wrong
you
all the
hate,
time.
and then you pivoted to Trump, and you're resorting to personal attacks. I mean, this is magical. This speaks so much more about you, sir. And I hope everybody, the 32 people in here, see the type of person that you are, and don't ever come back to your life ever again. This is awful that you think this way,
Oh,
sir.
am
I
I gonna
think you
get
need
canceled?
help.
Oh no.
No, I don't think you should get canceled at all. I don't think anyone should get canceled. I just think that you need to just reading law doesn't mean that you comprehend it, right? So I just suggest that you read the
Yeah,
law
you're
and then,
proof of that.
and then I'll come
Just
back in a
because you
couple
read law
weeks
doesn't mean you understand it.
and I'll give you a redo. I'll give you a redo in a couple weeks after you read the law.
I don't
So-
want to redo with you until you could take 32
oh,
months.
I was going to give you a chance to redeem yourself because you're
Oh,
way
you
down.
think you think I need to redeem myself? I think you need
do.
to do 32
You-
months of extensive
do.
research on this case,
Because
and then debate me. I don't think you're worthy of debating me because of how stupid you are.
so I haven't landed one personal insult on you, but you've landed many on me. So that just speaks so much
Right.
about your character. So once a person
Yes,
resorts to personal insult-
I personally attack racists. Yes.
yeah, because you
Is that a
think
bad
I'm
thing?
you don't know me.
Should we personally attack Nazis? Yes or no?
Oh, now it's about the Nazis and Netanyahu and Israel and Gaza. Like, I mean, do you need Adderall, sir? Like, you got to keep it together. Like, let's go in one lane at a time, sir. Come on.
Any lane that I try to go in, you resort to. You called me names. No.
No, because I walk you in each category, and then you get your feelings hurt, and then you have to switch
kind of
up to
admitted
Nazis
that you support a
and
sexual
racists
abuser.
and Trump and Netanyahu.
You kind of literally.
no, you
admitted
need
support a
Adderall. You need to
sexual
ask your
abuser.
doctor for some Adderall, sir.
You admitted you support a sexual abuser.
I admitted I supported Donald Trump. He was held civilly liable for some
Of
bullshit.
Sexual abuse.
and
Bullshit, but he's still a sexual abuser.
I vote for what's best for my family, and I don't really care what you think.
Carmelo Anthony was held criminally responsible
Carmelo
for
Anthony's a
bullshit.
murderer, and he's
He was
sitting
held.
in jail
No, he was
very
held. He was held guilty for bullshit. That's what.
Carmelo Anthony is sitting in
Held,
jail.
held guilty. He was held liable for BS. The same way as Trump was held liable for BS.
Well-
You know how as soon as I use your argument and turn it around you,
Yeah. Wow, what? There's
magical, as you've been saying, magical.
there's no argument to be had. The jury spoke.
Yeah, there's no argument to be had. It was self-defense. Thanks.
The jury spoke and kicked back any lesser charge or anything. The judge
of racial
literally,
inequality within the
the
sentence.
judge literally gave those
the
jurors
same way as a judge literally determined Donald Trump raped Eugene Carroll. Oh wait,
the
but you
ju-
still support him.
and this just the Adderall. Go take some, sir, because you can't keep up. Like I
Why
know
don't you
it.
go
You're
research?
low IQ. You can't keep up. I got it, sir. Like
Low
I
IQ.
I can
they're
help
low
you.
IQ. They're all low IQ.
I can help you, sir. If you just, I know you hate white women like me, but that's fine. I'll sit here and make you look at my face for all night long, and you can keep crashing out. It's who's the racist here, right?
People, white people.
You
don't
literally
experience
said
racism.
that I'm a racist white woman. You called me racist because I voted for Trump, sir.
No, I called you racist. Yes, because you voted for Trump. A and B because white people are inherently racist.
So who's the racist here?
Not me, because you're white, and white people
Are
don't
you white?
experience racism.
Are you white, sir?
White people don't experience racism.
Are you white?
White people don't experience racism.
Are you white? Are you embarrassed to say you're white?
White people don't experience.
Are you
racism.
white, sir?
White people don't experience racism.
You can't even answer the question, sir. Okay,
Not white, no.
you're way more far gone than I thought, sir. Like you need some help. You need to call, you need a
And you think white
5150.
people can experience racism?
No, you need a 5150 immediately. So anyone that knows this gentleman, call in for a 5150. You need to be
You gonna run away?
mentally evaluated immediately.
What's race?
Again, are you white?
What's race? I said no. What's race?
Are you white?
I said no. What's race?
You,
Holy shit.
no. Sir,
What's race?
I am not going to sit here and talk to you about these frivolous
Because you don't know what you're talking about.
When the conversation started, let's go back to Carmelo. Let's remind the chat how you got your feelings hurt, and now you've called me a racist and every name in the book because I don't
I heard you that I
align.
called you. You're uncomfortable when you call me.
I'm not uncomfortable at all, sir. I'll sit up here all night long. I do this every day. This is light work for me.
If you do this, damn.
Yeah, this is light work for
Every
me.
day, you do this every
I
day.
do. I walk little boys like you every single day, make them cry every day, sir.
Walk
I
little
sure
boys. That's kind
I
of weird.
do. I do. I make people like you cry every day because you think that you're so cool and you know everything. But a white woman that you hate came up here and walked your ass, and now you want to resort to personal insults. It's laughable.
Aw.
You're laughable. Yeah, you're laughable.
You're not laughing though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I mean, I think it's funny for sure. But I mean, I'm a little concerned about you. Like, I don't want to be like
You're
too mean.
concerned.
Yeah, I think you need a 5150 immediately. I do.
That's great. So what's race?
Do you know what a 5150 is?
What's race?
Do you know what a 5150 is?
What's race?
You don't, do you?
What's race?
Again, do you know what a 5150 is?
That's great. What's race?
You don't, sir. So, you know, you can't play with the big dogs.
What's
You
race?
can't play with the big dogs and then get your feelings hurt and
That's
resort
great. What's race?
because I
That's
look
great.
the way
What's
that
race?
I look the way that I look,
I don't
and
care
now
what
I'm
you
the
look like.
problem
What's
because I'm a
race?
white woman and you hate white women. What did a
don't
white
hate
woman
white
do
women.
to you to make you hurt so bad?
I don't hate white women. What's race?
You already said you hated white women.
No, I never said that. What's
You
race?
did. So what did the white woman do to you to make you hate
Never
white
said
women
that.
so
What's
bad?
race?
Oh, okay. Okay.
What's
Again,
race?
what's
You
a
running?
what's a 5150? This isn't a rhetorical
Runner,
question.
runner.
Who's running?
Runner.
Again, I said this is light work. I do this in my sleep. I walk
If
boys
it's light
like
work,
you on
answer the
street.
question. What's race?
Do you know what a 5150 is, sir? I think you
What's
need to go
race?
get your mom. Go get your mom and tell her that you need.
I think you need to answer my question. What's race?
I'm not going to get into a whole
you
issue.
don't know what
with
race
you
is, that's
about-
why.
You've already called me racist, sir. So
Listen, you said people should learn to accept when they're wrong. So should you. When you don't know what race is, tell me. Just tell me you don't know what race
Oh no.
is.
Oh no, you've been completely wrong this entire time. Hence your personal insults to the white woman who you said you hate. So I'll sit here as long
When
as
did I
you
say I
let-
hate you? Do you want to bet
because
money?
I want you to crash out actually because
You want to bet
clearly
money?
you hate white women.
No.
And I just want to know what a white woman did to you to make you hate white women so bad.
I don't hate white women.
You already said you did. Can you tell me why?
I never said I do.
Why do you hate white women?
I don't hate white women.
Why do you think white women are racist?
Because white people are inherently racist.
You said I hated everyone. You know nothing about me,
Oh
sir.
yeah, that was yeah. I did.
Yeah,
say,
yeah, you did.
I did
So,
say, yeah, but I
short-term
never said I
memory.
hate white women.
There's medicine for
That's
short-term
different.
memory,
That's
sir.
different.
Yeah, you need
So,
Adderall.
so me saying you hate black people, and then me saying I hate white women, two completely different claims. I didn't say I hate white women, and then I did say you hate black people. Yes.
You lost a debate about Carmelo Anthony and you resorted to personal insults and Donald Trump. Like, that's laughable, sir.
I need you to go to next.
That's laughable.
So what's race?
Again, I'm not going to get into a racial conversation with you because you've made it perfectly clear that I'm a racist. So I'm not going to sit here and debate you about race.
See, you are uncomfortable because you literally said I called you a racist, therefore you won't debate me.
I'm
You are
not
uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable about anything. The only thing I'm
You're uncomfortable
uncomfortable
about being called a
is I'm
racist.
very concerned about you.
And you're a racist.
I'm very concerned about you.
And you're I don't need your
Because
concern, thanks. And you're
somebody-
a racist.
You hate white women, and a white woman just came
I
up
hate
and
white
walked dog walked the shit out of you, and you're spiraling.
Guarantee you didn't dog walk me. The only one
You're
spiraling
like a
is me.
parrot. You're like a parrot. You keep asking the same question over and over. Let's go back to Carmelo Anthony.
I will keep asking
Can
the
you
same
tell
question
me the
until you
5
answer my
elements
question.
of
What's race?
self-defense? Can you tell me the 5 elements of self-defense, sir?
Can you tell me what race is?
Let's go back to your prompt, sir.
Can you tell me what race is?
Let's go back to your prompt, sir.
Can you tell me what race is?
Can you tell me the 5 elements of self-defense, please,
Can you
sir?
tell me what race is?
Okay, so we're going to just do this because just admit you don't know
Like
anything
I
about
said, I
the
have
case.
all night. I've been doing this
You
for
heard
10
about a
minutes.
case and you thought you were going to be some big shot and run alive with 600 people, but too bad only 30 showed up because you're clueless and a white
No,
woman's
90
walking the
people,
shit out
90
of you.
people at peak time,
Yeah,
30
well,
people
where
on
are they?
YouTube,
Where are
120.
Where
They
are
left
they?
because you're annoying.
They
And I got
left
a
because
restriction.
they know you didn't take your Adderall today and nobody can keep up with your ass. That's
No,
what's
they
happening.
left because you're annoying and you want to answer
Yeah.
questions.
Okay. Anyway, so what are the 5
So
elements
what's
of
race?
self-defense? What are the
Yeah,
5
what's
elements
race?
of What are the 5 elements of self-defense, sir?
Sure, what's race?
I'm entertaining your prompt. What are the 5 elements? I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself. Come on. You got this.
What's race?
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You got this. What are the
What's
5 elements of self-defense?
Sure, what's race? For the
What are the-
50th time?
What are the 5 elements of self-defense?
For the 51st time, what's race?
So just say you don't know and I'll tell you.
Okay, so if you don't answer a question, that means you don't know, so you don't know what race is. Great concession.
I'm not
You're
gonna,
just self-cooking yourself.
I'm
You are
not-
literally just self.
because I've said
That is absolutely laughable. That is
said-
actually I'm not gonna lie.
said-
That you gotta admit. You gotta admit, Amanda. That's laughable. You gotta admit that's actually funny. You
the
have to
only
admit
thing
that's
laughable
funny.
here is
You
you
got
getting
you cannot deny that is funny.
the only thing laughable
That's
here
funny.
is you getting excited over
That's funny.
what you
Yes,
just
I
said.
am excited because that's funny.
And look at your chat. Look at your chat. Right. So again, sir, what
So
are the
what's
elements
race?
of self-defense? What are the elements of self-defense?
Yeah, what's race?
And you can't do it. So
And you can't do it either. That means you don't know what
the
race
chat
is.
for the host. So Mr. Jeremiah doesn't know about the Carmelo case. He got ahead
And
of
you
his
don't know what
britches
race is.
here. He got ahead of his britches here, and he thought he knew about a case, and he hates white women. And then a white woman came up and dog walked his ass, and now he's spiraling. This is what's happening here, friends. So again, I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. Let's talk about the Carmelo Anthony case. What are the elements of self-defense, sir?
What's race?
All right, we can just sit here all night. How about that?
Sure,
And
what's
when-
race?
When you look the information, you can read it to me. Read it to me, sir, and I'll help you learn.
You can search up what race is and I'll help you learn.
I'm
What's
not
race?
debating you on race. I'm not debating you on race. You already called me racist, so you lost that. So again, I'll debate you on Carmelo Anthony or nothing. What's it going to be?
What's race? I'll debate you on race or nothing. What's it
Again,
gonna be?
what is it going to be?
What's it gonna be? Race or nothing? What's it gonna be?
It's your prompt, sir. You need to get a better microphone, by the way.
Yeah, it is my live. So what's it gonna be? Race or nothing?
Well, I mean, I'm reading your prompt, sir. What are the elements of self-defense?
What's race?
I said I wasn't going to debate you on race, sir, because you already called me a racist. So I'm not doing that. And that's the last time I'm going to tell you that. So we can debate Carmelo Anthony and I can teach you a few things, or you can just go take your Adderall and go do some homework. And then we can debate again in a couple weeks and maybe you'll learn a little bit.
We can
I'm here
debate
to
about
help
race, and I can teach you a couple things, and then we can debate in
Oh
a
my
couple months,
God.
and then we can see if you win the debate. So what's
It's
race?
very clear, sir, what's happening here. You
You don't know what race is. It's very clear. Yeah, we know.
I already said I'm not going to debate you about race.
Because you don't know what it is.
I'm not debating you about race because
Because you don't know what it is.
because you called me racist.
Because you're an emotional white
You're
woman who
the
doesn't know
person
what
that
race
read
is.
a
Yeah.
penal code and didn't even know what it meant, sir.
Penal code number 9.31 is
So-
about self-defense. Penal code number 9.32
So
is in
again-
reference to penal code number 9.31.
again-
So what's race?
What are the elements of self-defense in Texas,
Sure,
sir?
what's race?
What are the elements of self-defense?
What's race?
I feel like I'm arguing with like a 5-year-old, like with the kindergarten kids that I'm with every day.
Me and you both. What's you teach?
Yeah.
You teach
Yeah.
children. Ooh,
Yeah. So again,
that's
sir,
not good.
sir, what are the elements of self-defense?
That's not good. You shouldn't be teaching kids.
What are the
What's
elements
race?
of self-defense? So is this a dead end? Because I'm going to go because I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah, if you can't tell me what race is, this is a dead end. Yeah.
I'm debating you about the prompt. I told you I
No, you're
wasn't.
debating me on race or nothing.
I'm not debating you on race because you called me a
Leave.
racist
You runner,
white.
leave.
You called me a racist
So
white
then leave.
bitch. So I'm not going to debate you
I
on
didn't
race.
call you a bitch. I don't call people bitches.
I'm
That's
not going to
misogynistic.
debate you on race. So again,
So then
clearly,
leave.
You're very nervous. I can see you like you're very nervous. You're very nervous, sir. You cannot debate the Carmelo case, and you've spun yourself out because a white woman dog walked you, and now you want to ask a question over and over like a goddamn parrot. Like,
Sure,
what are
what's
we
right?
doing here? What are we doing here? I'm here to help you learn, sir. Let's go through it together.
We already debated on the Carmelo Anthony case,
No.
and I dog walked you. You said,
What?
and I quote, you said murder. Well, you said murder was classified. You said murder is legally,
Okay.
intentionally or knowingly
This is
causing
a
the death of an
complete
individual.
waste of time. This is a waste of time.
You said murder is legally, murder is intentionally
You
or
have a
knowingly.
good night,
Now you're
sir.
interrupting me because you know I'm about to cook you, and she ran because she knew what I was about to say. Absolutely cooks her. Just to recap, she said murder legally is intentionally or knowingly causing the death of an individual. Under this instance, self-defense would be murder. She didn't retract that statement. She didn't add anything else. And she didn't answer my question. So if you're not going to answer my question, I will do this all night with you, and I will win. Example, I won. Do you think Carmelo Anthony's innocent or guilty?
Guilty.
Why?
Because under the self-defense laws, in order to use deadly force, you have to be faced with death or serious bodily injury, and bodily injury under 1.07 it's clearly described as permanent disfigurement, the loss of function of any limbs, organs, etc. And under 19.02, you can get charged with murder if you knowingly or intentionally cause bodily harm to somebody that can clearly lead to death.
So then self-defense is murder, right?
Whenever you don't qualify under the penal codes.
Okay, so you're saying if they don't qualify for the penal code of 9.32, 9.32, you said they have to be met with force. Well, it says when and to the degree believes the deadly force is immediately necessary.
Yes.
And then they say to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use, so they don't have to be met with deadly force. That's
Yes,
wrong.
but-
You're just wrong.
Yeah, it's not wrong because he's sitting in jail right now, and that's the exact reason
That's
why.
the only
But
argument you guys
if-
have.
so- yeah,
The
yeah.
six
So
people that
yeah,
I
so
came
let
on
me break
here
it down.
every time
Let me break it
I
down.
debate the penal codes, the 6 people that I came on here say, "Well, you're wrong because he's sitting in jail. You're wrong because he's sitting in jail." That's not an argument, buddy. Holy shit.
Yeah, it is an argument because whenever
No, the
you
reason
break
why
it-
he's sitting in jail is because of racial inequality. Holy shit.
So let me break this up for you. So I'm in Texas. I'm having an argument with somebody. They're bigger than me. They're stronger than me. He comes up and he pushes me. He shoves me as hard as he can, and I fall on my ass. Can I put a hole through his chest?
According to 9.31 and 9.32, if you have reasonable belief that you can use that, yes.
No,
You can use
cannot.
that you can use any degree necessary.
No, you cannot. But it has
That
to
is
be
what it
under
says.
reason. It has
And
to
I
be
quote,
under reason.
and it quote, yes, I said reasonable and to
But
any
is that
degree
is
necessary.
reasonable belief up to you or the jury?
It's up to him.
No, it's up to the jury because at
That's
the end
not
of
what
the day,
9.31 says.
they have
9.31 says
they
the
have to
opposite.
decide.
9.31 says, except as provided
why
in the
does it-
subsection B, a person in justified in using force against another when and to the degree the actor reasonably believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful force. The actor's belief that the force was immediately necessary as described by the situation. A subsection is presumed to be reasonable. That's what it says. And if you're saying that, let's say, and the jury does determine it, okay, well, in this instance, it's still jury. The jury is still biased because of racial inequality within the system.
Yeah, no, it's a
Also,
jury of
for the
opinion.
comment section, reasonable isn't stab for a push. That's not reasonable. That's proportionality. Proportionality isn't mentioned in the penal codes at all. So
Yeah, which is why
proportionality has nothing to do.
Yeah, which is why I didn't bring it up. So I
I'm
can
talking about
reasonably
the
believe
context
that
of
just because you come up to me and push me, that I will lose my life or suffer great bodily injury. But at the end of the day, my actions
that is
are
reasonable belief, and you can use any
but
means
that does
necessary.
not make me-
You can
that
use
does
any
not
means
make me-
necessary
that does not make me
to
innocent.
yes, you
That
can
does-
use
no,
any.
it does not.
Yes, you can use any
You
means
don't
necessary
understand the
to
law.
neutralize the threat.
You don't understand the law then. Just because somebody comes up and pushes me and I feel like I need to shoot them does not mean that I will go to the court and they say, well, you felt that way. Now you get let off. That is not how that law
No,
works.
it's about the reasonable belief of whether or not there's attempted or actual unlawful force.
But in order to use deadly
And there's
force,
stand your ground laws.
go
in,
look at
no, dude.
what is stand your ground? What is stand your ground?
Holy shit! If you don't know what stand your ground is, why are we having this conversation?
Yeah, no, I'm asking you.
So you know what it is.
Yeah, it's the duty not to
then
retreat.
why do I
You
have
don't
to tell you?
retreat. You don't have to retreat. I'm asking if you understand.
9.31 is a no duty.
Yeah,
to
so he doesn't have to retreat. I never said he couldn't defend himself. He used the wrong means to defend himself. In order to deploy deadly
That's your
force,
opinion.
No,
not what the law
listen,
says.
listen,
No,
listen.
hold
you
on,
keep
hold on.
interrupting.
You said he used the wrong
You keep
means.
interrupting.
That's proportionality.
Yes, he did.
That's proportionality.
Yes, he did. Because
That's
you have
proportionality.
to
The
be-
law doesn't mention proportionality. That's where you cook
But
yourself.
it does mention imminent. So you have to be faced with
It
death or
mentioned,
serious
it doesn't
bodily
mention
injury.
it doesn't mention
Yes.
proportionality though. That's a different
You
argument.
have to
You said you said he used
To
the
use
wrong
deadly force, you
force,
got to look at deadly force. You got to look at
but it
deadly
doesn't
force.
mention proportionality.
Whenever it says you have to be met with death or serious bodily injury, that is stating the amount of proportionality.
It's not
that-
proportionality.
yes.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
Nine
Because
point
you
three one and
cannot-
9.32
you cannot be-
say 9.31 and 9.32 say when and to the degree. That's not
You
proportionality.
you cannot meet ordinary force with deadly force.
Again, not proportionality.
Yes, absolutely, it does. You don't understand the law. It's kind of
I
sad.
think you're projecting.
I'm not projecting at all. It's very clear.
So
and that's
can we
why-
agree that it says when into the degree, not proportionality, and doesn't reference proportionality?
that is literally implying proportionality.
When into the degree implies proportionality.
Whenever you're reading the law, it implies proportionality.
Yeah, name me one law expert that agrees with you.
Whenever it
Go
says
ahead.
that you must
Go ahead.
be whenever it says
Name
you
me
must
one
be
expert that agrees with you. Go ahead.
holy shit. You have to be met
Shit,
with
yeah,
the
I'm asking for you to back your
Damn,
claim.
you
Name me
really
one
can't
expert
shut
that
the
agrees with
fuck
you. Go
up.
ahead.
You really can't shut the fuck up.
No, I'm asking you for a source. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas.gov. Go look at it.
Yeah,
Not
what's the title?
ChatGPT. Not ChatGPT.
What's the
Go
title?
19.31, 19.32. You
I have
got to
it
look
up here.
at that.
Except
You gotta
as
look-
provided
you
in
gotta look-
subsection B, a person is justified in using force against another when and to the degree the act of reason believe that has nothing. It doesn't tell me that when and to
Keep
the degree
reading, keep
equals
reading, keep
proportionality.
reading, keep reading.
I already read this.
Keep reading.
Believes the force is immediately necessary to protect the actor against the other's use or attempted use of unlawful force. The actor's belief that the force was immediately necessary are described by this subsection and is presumed to be reasonable if the actor knew or had reason to believe that the person against whom the force was used, A, unlawfully and with force entered or is attempting to enter unlawfully. Does this prove your point? I don't see how this proves your point. With force, the actor's occupied habitation, vehicle, or place of business or employment. Does this prove your point? I don't
Because
think
you're
this proves
not
your point.
you're not looking at the right thing. You're supposed. So
You
what
said
did he
9.31, you said
did
keep
he,
reading
did
and
he
I kept
defend him?
reading.
Did he defend himself with ordinary force or deadly force?
You said read 9.31,
Was he defending himself with ordinary force or deadly force?
deadly force.
Okay, then. So,
So what do you want me to
according yeah. So whenever you go down to whenever you go to 1.07, that describes serious bodily injury,
1.07.
and whenever you do present this evidence to the jury, you have to convince them that you were either going to be met with death or serious bodily injury. And based on the push that Austin Metcalf gave Carmelo Anthony,
Penal code
he did not face that.
1.07.
Yes,
Okay, cool. Let's read it.
it describes serious bodily
What
injury.
section?
I believe. Hold on, let me get my laptop and go to Texas.gov. I literally had it up a few seconds ago. Got my laptop. Give me a few.
Is to jump into the book he was reading? Who, me? I'm not reading a book. I'm reading penal code. Jeopardy music? So true, so true, so true. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding.
All right, Texas Penal Code 1.07A 46, serious bodily injury. Bodily injury that creates a substantial risk of death or that causes death, serious permanent disfigurement, or protracted loss or impairment of the function of any bodily member or organ. Based on the push that Austin Metcalf gave Carmelo Anthony, the jury did not find that he faced any threat of that.
Hold on. Penal code number, the one that you're referencing, what does this have to do with anything?
because he has to be met with that in order to deploy
No,
deadly
he doesn't.
force.
According to
Yes, he
9.32, no,
does.
he doesn't. 9.3
Whenever
9.32, no, he doesn't.
So you're talking about in the heat of the moment. I'm talking about whenever you present this in front of the judge and the jury. You have to convince
And
the
of course,
jury
with
that you are.
9.31 and 9.32, no, he doesn't.
You have to present.
It says attempted. It says either use or attempted use of unlawful force or deadly force.
Of unlawful deadly force.
No, Penal Code
Do
number
you-
9.31 is
do you-
unlawful. Penal Code number
let me go-
9.32 is
let me go
deadly
check
force.
it.
Get it right.
Dancing around this.
But it's still, both of them say use or attempted use. So he doesn't have to be met with it. Like, I'm sorry, the law isn't on your side.
Texas.gov. Self-defense. Texas Penal Code 9.32, deadly force in defense of person. A person is justified in using deadly force against another when they would be justified in using force under 9.31, ordinary self-defense, and they reasonably believe deadly force is immediately necessary to protect to protect themselves against another's use of attempted use of deadly force, or to prevent them.
Use or attempted use, right?
Yes,
So,
of
yeah,
deadly
that's my
force.
point.
So can you prove that Austin Metcalf was applying deadly force to Carmelo Anthony?
Again, use or attempted use of unlawful
Of deadly force, and you have to prove that he was exerting deadly force.
That would be if he
He
used-
completed the action
hold
of
on.
pushing
If
Carmelo
he,
Anthony.
If he exerted the use of unlawful deadly force, then I would be able to. But it says use or attempted use of
And
unlawful
that's
deadly
why I
force.
said you have to prove that he attempted to use deadly force. You not understand?
No.
You're getting
No.
cooked. You're getting
How am I getting cooked?
You have to prove that he meant to exert deadly force, but you can't prove that, which is why he got locked up.
Again, that's not the reason why he quote unquote got locked up.
Yes, he did.
When we're
because
referring
you
to
could-
Penal Code number 9.32, and I'll just recap for it. A,
Go
you
ahead.
have to be justified under section 9.31, and then it says to protect an actor against the other's use or attempted use. So let's say that Austin Metcalf didn't use deadly force. If Carmelo Anthony had a reasonable belief, or there was reasonable belief, or reasonable actors would believe that deadly force would be used, then it would still be reason to use self-defense, and that would still fall under self-defense.
Yeah, so let me read a penal code for you. So Texas Penal Code 9.01, sorry, Section 3, deadly force. It means force that is intended or known by the actor to cause, or in the manner of its use or intended use, is capable of causing death or serious bodily injury. Now, in order for him to deploy deadly force, he would have to be met with this force, as I just read
Penal
you
Code
under
number 9.01,
9.01, Section 3.
Section 3. Deadly force means the force is in the. Okay, sure. What was your point? Go ahead.
So under 9.32, like I just read you, in order for a person to be justified in using deadly force against another, they would have to be justified under 9.31 first, but then they would have to reasonably believe that deadly force is immediately necessary to protect themselves against another's use or attempted use of deadly force. Now they have to prove, the defense has to prove that Austin Metcalf was going to deploy deadly force. I'm saying that they did not present enough evidence to the jury to prove that Austin Metcalf was going to exert any sort of deadly force.
Sure. What's your source for that?
What do you mean? What's my source for that? I
You
just
said that
read
there
it.
was lack of evidence, and that's the reason why it wasn't deemed self-defense. What's your source?
What evidence? What? So if you read the
You made a
witness
claim, I'd like a
testimony,
source.
so if we read most of the witness testimonies for the people who were
You
reporting
made a
from
claim that because of lack of evidence, he wasn't deemed self-defense. You were talking about how they weren't able to prove that Austin Metcalf was using was going to use deadly force or did use deadly force, and that's the reason why it was in self-defense. What's your source?
yes, absolutely. The witness testimony states.
But I need a title that this is what the jury determined.
What do you mean?
You said the reason why it wasn't self-defense is because they did not provide enough evidence that Austin Metcalf was or did use unlawful deadly force. What is your source?
Exactly. The witness testimonies where they asked them.
No, that's
Yes,
nothing to do
yes.
with the determination with whether or not it was, whether or not it was he was guilty or innocent, or whether or not it was murder.
Did Austin Metcalf push Carmelo Anthony? Yes or no?
Can you answer the question first?
What?
The question that I asked you is, what is your source that the reason why it was not deemed as self-defense is because there wasn't enough evidence.
Yeah, and I'm giving you that answer based on the witness
Giving me
testimony.
an answer for a question I'm not asking.
It is the answer for the question that you're asking. I said the reason why they believe that is because they brought the prosecution brought 21 witnesses up. And almost all the witnesses described Austin's force as a shove. I think one of them was a linebacker grab or a slight push. So given those three forces those were the only three forces described during the trial. Given those three forces, what would you say?
Again, I don't care what me or you say. I care about what the jury determined. You said the jury determined this not to be self-defense because of the lack of evidence. What's your source?
I just gave you it.
So no, you just talked, and I'm not gonna say it was like word salad because what you said is.
I'm not trying to
I'm
word
asking you
salad
for a
you.
source. You know what a source is?
No, I don't know what a source is. I have no idea what a source is. In all my years on this earth, I've never heard of a source.
Clearly.
Could you tell me what a source is?
No, I'm not gonna tell you what a source is.
Why? You're the all-knowing. Tell me what a source is.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Apparently.
I literally talked to the fourth guest, and I admitted that he brought up a good point. You're just not simply bringing up any points and not providing evidence for what you're saying.
What do you mean? I quite literally read
And
you.
what's your
penal
source?
codes. I quite literally read you penal codes, made you get off
What's
your
the
high
source
horse.
for the claim that you made?
Oh my gosh! I just told you witness statement testimonies.
No, you're telling me what the witnesses said. What's your source that this is what the jury determined?
What do you mean? You're trying to argue something that I'm not arguing. I said in order for the jury to determine that Carmelo Anthony was not guilty of murder, they would have to prove that Austin exerted deadly force upon Carmelo Anthony. But they could not prove that.
You're saying the reason it was not self-defense or deemed self-defense is because the lack of evidence. What's your source? And what evidence was presented? And just tell me the source that tells me all these questions that would have answers to.
I don't know. You tell me what evidence goes against mine or my claim. You're putting your head in your hands, but I don't just go ahead and give me your point.
No, I need you to justify your point first.
I already told you. I literally already told you 3 times.
You told me something 7 times. That is not what I asked. I didn't ask you for the witness testimony. What I asked you was to give me a source that tells me that this is what the jury determined. The lack of evidence, the jury determined. I wasn't disagreeing or agreeing. I'm simply wanting a source to prove you right. A source that tells me the evidence within the case. The verdict? You telling me the verdict is not a source. Anyways, I've been doing this for 2 hours and a half. I feel like the only conversation that I had decent was the fourth conversation. He brought up the child hypothetical scenario. And I liked that conversation. I enjoyed that conversation. That was the only productive conversation that I had. Other than that, looks like TikTok and YouTube. I mean, the chats were kind of split. Let's see YouTube. We're kind of split. Anyways,